音量、テスト、音量、テスト。音量、テスト、音量、テスト。多分大丈夫だと思います。皆様おはようございます。来ましたね。ストリートファイター6裏飯2キャラクター。おはようございます。おはようございます。早く成仏していただいて。ということでね。ストリートファイター6に、江戸が、来ましたが。それはそれ。これはこれ。本日は、ファンタジー、ストライク。やっていこうと思います。ということで。まずはね、オープニングでも見ようか。うなぎさんこんばんは。今日もストライクですね。おはようございます。今日もファンタジーでしょ。でしょでしょう。あ、そうそう。音量、バランス問題ありましたら教えてください。時代派進んでいる。ぶっちゃけ。他のゲームでもこういうのあっていいと思うんですよね。あった方が単純に便利ですからね。ということで、オープニングムービーでした。いや、ワクワクしてきますね。寒そうだと思いました。体を動かせば、多少の寒さなんて大丈夫大丈夫。メニュー画面の BGM が小さいな。まあいいか。いや、やっぱりなんか小さくないですかね。ということで、やっていきます。なぜ格ゲー派メニュー画面で作りを出すのか。ファンストの申し子、うなぎもそうだし。てっぺん、取りますか。乳首を出すのが最新の格闘ゲームのトレンドなのかもしれない。ということで、チュートリアル、やります。緑。このゲーム、緑ちゃんジャンプがボタンでジャンプです。緑安全。上でジャンプじゃないんですね。わしを叩いて進もう。おそらく、人生で一度も、発する機会のないセリフですね。わしを叩いて進もう。
Good. There's no dash, run, or crouch, so you already learned all about movement. Attack these sparring partners.
ボタンでジャンプというとランマの格ゲーがそんな感じだったな。 スマブラもそうじゃなかったでしたっけ？あれは、スティック上でも、ジャンプできるんだっけ？ダッシュやしゃばみはない。わしを叩いて進もう。
You can only hurt these enemies with the A button.
まあまあまあ、ゲームのチュートリアル、だからね。いくら進むためでもうなぎはたけねえ？一つだけ。スパン拾えるなんちゃらもしゃがみなかった気がする。そうなのか。あのゲームなぜかスカルマニアがいるんですよね。カジュアル、格闘ゲームの中からゲストキャラがなぜスカロマニアなのか。未だにわからない。
Attack me to advance. You can only hurt these enemies with the B button. The B button is for special attacks.
D ボタンで必殺技。波動拳。これは竜巻旋風脚。
Attack me to advance. You can only hurt these enemies with the C button. The C button is
ワー
also
ヒー
for
でこんな
special
技あっ
attacks.
たな。わらわら。世界で一番面白いゲーム、ワールドヒーローズ。チンポ。チンチン。つまり、このゲームも、ワールドヒーローズの影
When
響
you
を受け
flash
てるっ
white,
てこ
you're
と？
invulnerable to strikes.
無敵技。無敵技もボタン一つで出してしまうんだ。
Attack me to advance.
緑、師匠を叩いて。SM、プレイのおねだりだ。
You can summon the wind with jumping C. Go ahead.
斬鉄戦。タイガーバズーカジャイ。大切り。サムライスピリッツ。
While the wind blows, your
風
B
が来
and
る。
jumping B specials are powered up. Your powered up projectiles destroy enemy
こ
projectiles.
の風泣いて
Your
る気がし
jumping
ま
B
す。
strikes lightning below.
波動拳が強化されるってこと？ファイティングやります。やったぜ。今なら無料。バイナウ。なんてこった。
Attack me to advance.
Wind summon!
When your super meter is full, you can do a super move. Usually your meter fills automatically over time. For now, it will refill instantly. Beat some enemies with it.
Wind summon!
これで無敵が
Wind summon!
めくりができるってことね。そして、超必殺技。2昇竜拳。2昇竜拳。
Attack me to advance.
めくり入るのかな？ガード方向どうなってるんだろうね。ガードについては、 普通にあるっぽいです。
Attack me to advance.
あれですね。それぞれのボタンで地上と空中で出る技が変わってるって感じですね。
Your normal attacks with A can combo into special attacks. Just press A, then B.
なんてこった。コンボもある。
Attack me to advance. Try some 3-hit combos.
なんてこったい。伝統のジャンプ攻撃からのコンボ。男の三段。古来から伝わる伝統的なコンボ。たまんないね。ボギは普通に後ろですね。ガードは普通に後ろ。早くも目押し要求。まあ、そのぐらいは多少は、ね。
When I block a special or super move, my life bar starts flashing for a few seconds. If I block a second,
削りダメ
my
ージ
life
があ
bar
る。
flashes faster. If I block a third, I lose that point of life. Make me lose 1 hit point from block damage.
必殺技、3階、
Also
ガー
damage
ドで
opponents who are
削り
blocking
って
by
こと。
throwing them. Press the throw button while close. You can also throw with jump plus A, or even A plus B if you visit the button config screen. Here is a unique feature in Fantasy.
3回派なかなかきつそうだね。
It beats all normal throws. Try to throw me. I damaged you,
そのあた
and
り
I
は
got full super meter too. I can only Yomi counter you if I'm not touching my
キャラク
controls
タ
at
ーに
all.
よるところもありそうですね。
If I'm walking back and forth. Okay,
テ
now
レビ
I'll
が
try to
得意
throw
なキャラ
you.
もいそう。
Let go of your controls and you'll Yomi counter me.
削りが得意なキャラもいそう。ベアハック。投げられるときにレバーをニュートラルにしてると
You did it. Now fight these opponents
投
and
げ
throw
抜
them
け
if they are
カウン
moving.
ターが
But
発
hit
動す
them
る
with
ぞ。
an attack if they are waiting to Yomi counter you. この機種はちょっと面白いと思いますね、僕は。このシステム。つまり、投げ抜けがニュートラルってのは確かにいいかもね。そうなんですよね。いろんな格闘ゲームでよくある。ガードしながら投げ抜けをするってのができないですからね。そうなると。 Yomi counters don't work against special throws. You have to jump out of those. I can do a special throw when I glow yellow. Hold still for a moment while I show you.
わしは黄色になると必殺、投げができる。
You have to jump out of that, not Yomi counter. I'll enable your ability to jump. Try to avoid my special throw.
生活で使うことはなさそうなセリフだ。 黄色くなると必殺、投げができる。
Good. But if I do a normal throw right as you get up, you have to Yomi counter, and you can't jump. The startup of your jump is vulnerable to normal throws. Yomi counter my normal throw by doing nothing.
読みカウンター。どっかで聞いたことのあるワードが出てきたぞ。何か、もともと。読みっていうカードゲームが元ネタ、らしいですね。このゲーム。闇っていうカードゲームが元ネタらしいですね。死ぬほど痛いぞ。投げが叩くなの面白いね。面白いよね。まあ確かに昨今の格ゲーではシンプルそうですね。そう。しゃがみもないし。コマンド操作も簡単だし。まさかのスピンオフ。なるほどね。
Now you're ready to play Fantasy Strike.
チュートリアル完了だ。やったぜ。ということで。今のまんま新昇竜拳やないかい。神竜拳もあるよ。
You wanna fight?
Who is my equal?
Red Dragon!
二竜拳。もうそのまま、昇竜拳もあります。ちなみにこの昇竜拳。使うと体力が1減る。無敵技にはそれなりのコストが必要ってこと。ソロモードは。なるほどなるほど。デイリーチャレンジ。1日1回限定。エンドレスな、連続、対戦。シングル、マッチ。CPU、との対戦。まあとりあえず、やってみようか。
Round 1. Fight.
スプクからプレステあたりまでのパクリ格ゲーがワンサカ出てた頃を思い出しますね。笑顔になりますね。昇竜拳。やったぜ。やっちまったな。
Burn!
当たり。余裕ですね。
Fire! Burn! Dragon Heart! Burn! Burn! Dragon Heart!
システム的には結構よくできてそうに見える余裕の良さですね。でもなんとなく投げ回りとかの駆け引きは理解できる。あれですね。遅らせなきゃ、抜けとかそういった細かいテクニックが使えないから。純粋に投げ、周りは読み合いになりそうですね。投げに関してはほんと良さそうなシステムに思えますね。実際に対戦したことないから何とも言えませんが。キャラクター、見ていきましょうか。から4先なのか。そういうことですね。
Grave Stormborn is a highly disciplined martial artist committed to improving his skills every day. He draws on the power of wind and
ゲーム内でキャラクター紹介ムービーも見れちまうんだ。
use it only sparingly. Though primarily a zoner, Grave is a versatile character in that he's able to fight at both long range and close. His lightning cloud projectile lets him keep opponents away. When they try to jump over it, he can anti-air them with either his knife hand, neutral attack, or his dragon heart, ground super. This is the basic game plan of the so-called Shoto characters in other fighting games. To mix things up, Grave can hold down the B button to create a bigger but shorter range lightning cloud. This really messes with the opponent's ability to jump over projectiles, and they'll often end up landing in the big cloud. Grave can also control the speed of his normal-sized lightning clouds by holding back, neutral, or forward while pressing B to get slow, medium, or fast versions. Grave's double palm reaches pretty far, and his sweep reaches even farther. All of his normal attacks can cancel into his lightning cloud. On the ground, this allows him to do simple 2-hit combos. He can jump kick first to do a 3-damage combo, and that's his bread and butter.
キャラの基本的な戦い方を教えてくれるのはありがたい。
Grave's sword slash reaches far horizontally, and amazingly, it's totally invulnerable, like dragon punches in other fighting games. This gives it some incredible uses, but a sword attack is more about prediction than reaction. It has a lot of startup time, but the threat of it keeps opponents on their toes. It's unsafe on block, so only use it when you have a solid read. By the way, you can tell it's unsafe on block by the bigger red symbol that appears when it's blocked. The red symbol means your opponent will recover first. A blue one means you'll recover first. And the bigger the red symbol, the more time your opponent has to hit you back. Grave's jump A can cross up.
やっぱりゲーム内で見れる方がいいわね。覇王丸の大切りみたいだ。
It has a large horizontal hitbox, so it's great for coming down on top.
威力抜群。
Pressing C in the air
とはいかないけど。
You can hold back or forward to summon it
その
in
代わ
either
り、
direction,
無
though it's
敵。
usually best to blow it toward the opponent. The effect is so powerful that it's limited by his cloud meter, so you must wait several seconds between uses. The wind blows the opponent back, making it difficult for them to get near you.
これもやっぱり巻き戻しできるの？
It also powers
竜
up
ですねかと思ったら
Grave's
覇王
other
丸
moves.
だ
His
っ
lightning
た。
clouds become bigger and can destroy incoming projectiles and keep going. And his whirlwind strikes
Oh, Maru.
lightning below while the wind is blowing. His lightning clouds become
Yuto
bigger and
Maru.
can destroy incoming projectiles and keep going. And his whirlwind strikes lightning
2
below
つ
while the
掛
wind
け合わ
is
せ
blowing.
たら最強っ
Grave
て
can
こ
take
とよ。
advantage of each burst of tiles and keep going. And his
そしても
whirlwind
ちろん
strikes
巻き
lightning
戻
below
しも
while
で
the
き
wind
ま
is
す。
blowing. Grave can take advantage of
助かる。
each burst of wind in 2 main ways. He can use it to intensify his keep away powers, making it very hard for opponents to get near him, or he can go on the offensive with it. It blows himself too, so his jumps become huge, and the lightning from his whirlwind is a real threat.
今のところめっちゃいいゲームな気がする。画面端に追い込みやすくていいですね。
Grave's ground super does 1 damage if it's a glancing blow, but if he gets a deep
すご
hit,
い
it goes
丁
into
寧
a
に
special
作ってある
sequence
という
that
印
deals
象
2
は
damage.
ありますよ
You
ね。
get that more damaging version if you juggle into it after a
最
lightning
初のチ
strike.
ュートリアルといい、
Grave's air super is an aerial parry. If the opponent
キャラ
attacks into
紹
it with
介
any
ム
kind of
ビー
strike,
といい、
Grave will parry that
3
attack
つ目の
and
要
will
素はまさ
dramatically
かの
hit
エア
back
マソ。
for 2 damage. Another important thing to know
うん、
about Grave is his
なん
ability to
か
force
倒
block
せない。
damage. As a general rule in all of Fantasy
エア
Strike,
ーマンが
when
倒せな
players
い。
block a special or super move, the last chunk of their life bar starts flashing. If they block a second special or super move within a few seconds, it will flash faster, and if they block a third, they'll lose that point of life, which we call taking block damage. Grave is one of the best characters at dealing block damage because of the combination of the different speeds of his projectile, his large projectile, and his powered-up projectiles during the wind. Against a knockdown opponent, he can make them get up into a projectile, force him to block another one right after, and he can just apply a lot of pressure this way. During the wind, it's difficult for opponents to avoid taking block damage. Overall, Grave is a versatile character. He can keep opponents away, he can rush them down at
めっ
least a
ちゃ飛
little.
び道具主人公らしくいろいろできるキャラク
He
ター
has
って
few
こと。
weaknesses, and he can adapt to his opponent's strategies well. But can you?
基本的には普通の波動拳タイプだけど、貯めることで、ゆっくりにすることもできたり、パワーアップで貫通もできたり、そこそこ器用ですね。波動拳ももっとこのぐらいいろいろできるようにしてほしいね。全然進歩のない技、波動拳。
Max Geiger is a watchmaker, scientist, and logical thinker. His particular interest lies in the study of
ましょう。
time, and
次
whether
の
it
キャ
can be
ラ、
altered
行きま
or
しょう
even
ね。
controlled. Geiger is a zoning character who can control
君
the
なん
pace
か
of
イ
a
ラス
match.
トとか
He's
落ちが合わ
also
ない。
Fantasy Strike's version of a charge character.
カ
Whenever
メキャ
Geiger
ラ。
holds forward, he loses his charge, meaning his gear meter instantly empties. It fills very quickly as long as you either hold back or simply stand in neutral. He can't do either of his 2 ground
前
special
に歩
moves
くと
or his
ゲ
air
ージがな
C
くな
unless
る。
he's fully charged up. So in other words, he cannot walk forward and use
ゲ
those
ージ
moves
が
right
溜まっ
away.
てる時だ
Because
け
his
歩
3
き速
major
技が
moves have this
使える。
inherent drawback, they're very good in other ways. His first ground special move
歩
is
きが
time
速い
stop.
のはいいです
This
ね。
projectile gear has an unusually short recovery time, and you can hold the B button down to do a delayed version,
隙の
where
少
Geiger
ない
sends the
飛び
time
道具。
spiral slightly into the future. By delaying your projectile,
つま
it
り
lets you
ソニ
fully
ックブーム
recover
っ
by
て
the
こ
time
と。
it travels across the screen, so you can follow it and threaten combos or block strings. Geiger's other
ソニ
ground
ックブー
special
ム
is
であり、
flash gear
飛行
with the C
剣
button.
じゃん。
This is an
ダメ
invulnerable
技を
attack,
こうい
and
う
it's
風
one of
に
the
簡
best
略化し
reversals
た
in the
か。
game that doesn't cost super meter. He can use it to hit jumpers or simply blow through attacks on the ground. Only the
な
start
か
of
な
it is
か
invulnerable,
ジェノサイ
so
ドカ
try
ッ
to
タ
do
ー。
it late against jumpers.
なかなかのアイデアですね。
Enough that you can sometimes throw a time spiral, then flash gear the opponent as
ジ
they
ェノ
jump
サイド
over.
カッターもあ
Geiger's
る。
ground normal moves all have very different purposes. His forward plus A backhand is a long-range,
超
fast
すぎる。
poke that can potentially combo after a time spiral. In
リー
order
チ
to
が
do
超
this
すぎ
move,
る
you
ぞ
have to hold
このパ
forward
ン
though,
チ。
which means you'll lose your gear charge. That can be worth it because his backhand is that good of a poke. His neutral A punch has short range,
び
but
っ
it
く
can
りす
cancel
るほ
to
ど長い
specials.
な。
That lets him combo to either time spiral or flash gear. But remember to keep holding neutral or back or you'll lose your gear charge. His back plus A step kick allows him to travel forward without actually holding forward, so he can advance a little bit while keeping his gear charge. This move has slow startup, but it's extremely safe on block, allowing him to do pressure strings of several moves. If you hit with a step kick, you can combo to flash gear. And if you counter hit with it, that is, if you hit the opponent out of the startup of their move, you can actually combo into a neutral punch
時
and
計
then
技
into
師だ
flash
か
gear.
らね。
Geiger's jump A is a long
なるほど
horizontal
ね。
kick, which is good for hitting air to air and also for jumping in to do combos. His air
時
B
計をい
is
じって
phase
る
out,
男は
a
リーチ
move
も
that briefly
長いっ
stops
てこ
time for
と。
himself, but not for anyone else. During this brief time, he's completely invulnerable. He can use
対
it to
空、
avoid
ずら
enemy
し、
moves, even
技
enemy
だ。
supers, and to mix up his timing and his jump arc to confuse the opponent. And Geiger can still attack after a phase out on the way down. His Air C is a drop gear, a diagonally downward kick. Like any special move, it triggers block damage. You can use it to start pressure strings that threaten even more block damage. You can use it to cross up if you're close. On hit, you can combo off of it. You can't jump forward and use drop gear because it requires you to have full gear.
後ろ、ジャンプから急降下する
Consider
技。
your spacing so that you can work in a
やばいですね。
at opportune times.
強そう
A。nice trick is that you can jump forward and phase out, which takes long enough that your gear meter fills up while you're still in the air. Then, drop gear before you land. This lets you threaten some offense while still keeping your options open.
ガード方向わからん殺
You'll
し。
do Air C after the phase out, or kick with A, or simply fall straight to the ground. Geiger's time stop super allows him to casually stroll forward while time is stopped. He walks a fixed distance, then automatically does an invulnerable
さ
attack.
っきのキャラも持ってたのでも、私はね、
The main use is hitting opponents out of moves
さっ
from
き
far
のキャラ
away,
も持っ
such as
て
their
たからね。
projectiles. Geiger also controls the far upper part of the screen, which is
とっ
exactly
とめ
where
だ。
Jaina wants to be. If she jumps to
時間
shoot
停
an
止
arrow,
も
you
の
can time stop to hit her, guaranteed. And if a time
時
spiral
間
hits
停
or
止
is
もの
about
の
to
9
hit,
割
you
は
can
偽
time
物
stop to combo for 2 damage. His air super, Cycloid Revolution, summons a big ball of gears that tracks the opponent. It takes up so much space that it makes it hard for the opponent to
なん
move
だっ
around
て
while it's out. And as they block and wait for it to go away, it gives Geiger plenty of time to grind them down
この
with
システ
gears.
ムで半券ゲ
Geiger
ット
can
で
play a
増えたら
standard
普通
keep
に
away
優
game
越
with
たんじゃないで
projectiles,
すかね、
backhand
これ。
pokes, and anti-air, but he can also do lockdown sequences and go on the offense if needed. His versatile time stop
なん
super
か、
gives him
シ
a
ステ
ton
ム
of、options
だい
on
ぶ良さ
offense
そう
and
に
defense
見え
as
るよ
well.
ね。
And as any watchmaker will tell you, it's time to play Geiger.
以上時計のおじさんでした。ついってみよう。忍者。
Setsuki Haruki is a ninja student at the Fox's Den School. She's eager to learn, especially from Grave, and she's incredibly fast, agile, and stealthy. Setsuki is a rushdown character. She has only 5 hit points, tied for least in the game, but she makes up for it with her ability to overwhelm the opponent with
体
speed
力が
and
低い。
tricks.
代わりに、
Let's
攻め
start
が
with her
強
air
い。
moves. Her air A, B, and C are dive kick, kunai toss, and flying fox. Her flying fox can be done toward the opponent or away, and she can do it 2 times before landing. On hit or on block, she can also cancel it into her dive
2回
kick or her
空中
kunai.
移動ができるってこ
Her
と
bread
か。
and butter combo is flying fox, dive kick, normal attack, then super. That's 4 damage, and it's one of the most practical 4 damage combos to land in real matches in the whole game. There's 2 drawbacks to be aware of
4
here, though.
ダメー
She
ジ
can only
コ
do
ン
this
ボ。
combo if she has super meter, and the flying fox move has
な
pretty
かな
low
かすごいで
priority.
すね。
So if you really need a high priority attack, it's best to start with dive kick and only do 3 damage total. Her kunai is a great
効果
help
力
here,
ペラ
though.
ペラ
When
走
she's
行キャラ
far,
か。
she can throw it pretty safely and use it as cover.
そういうこ
This
と。
lets her do flying fox more safely, and it can lead to a whopping 5 damage combo if the opponent somehow happens to get hit by the kunai. It's possible for opponents to hit the kunai out of the air to avoid damage, but it's still a great way to
なる
fish
ほ
for
ど
an
ね。
opening. Now for her ground moves. Her slide is safe on block, and it gives plenty of frame
攻
advantage,
撃で撃ち
meaning
落と
she
すことも
recovers
できるん
before
で
the
す
opponent.
ね。
Her neutral
すごい。
AA is a 2-hit series of knee, then elbow. Her knee is one
ガー
of the
ドさせ
fastest
て
moves
有
in
利
the
な
game.
スライディング
Though。it doesn't normally combo to elbow, it's still a good pressure sequence, and if you counter hit with the knee, meaning you hit the opponent out of the start of a move, then it really does combo to the elbow. For example, if someone tries to throw you and you hit them out of their throw attempt with AA, it will be a true combo for 2 damage. Her double palm, which she learned from Grave, reaches a bit farther than her knee. Characters can't usually cancel normal moves to super, but Setsuki's knee, elbow, and double palm can all cancel to super. Her slide doesn't cancel into her super, but it can still combo to super anyway.
リー
after
チ
the
は
slide
短いけど
recovers
攻
to
撃
give
は
the
速いっ
first round.
て感じなんです
Her
ね。
ground super, Esper Dash, has come up a lot already. Unlike most supers in Fantasy Strike, this one is mostly for combos. It's not invulnerable at the start, and one of Setsuki's weaknesses is that she has no true reversal. That said, her
無敵
super
がない。
does become invulnerable after it travels a bit, so you can go through projectiles if you plan ahead. Setsuki's B is her ninja port. She dashes forward and hits as she flickers into an invulnerable state, then she ends with a very high priority kick with a huge hitbox. It's kind of like a dragon punch from other games, but she can only do it after the ninja port. Her double palm combos to the first hit of the ninja port kick for a true 2 damage combo, but it's a bit risky to do because she's then committed to do the big kick at the end, which they might punish. The 2 hits of her ninja port kick don't usually combo, but if you space yourself correctly at the max range of the move, they do combo. The ninja port kick is great at hitting jumpers, and if the opponent doesn't jump, she can hold the B button down to end with a special throw instead. She can generally use this move to cause a lot of confusion and make the opponent question whether they should jump and which direction they should try to block. Setsuki's C button special is Starlight Tumbler. If you hold the C button down, she does a special throw that the opponent has to jump to avoid. C instead of holding it, then you can end with either A, B, C, or C. You basically get the same moves as if you were jumping. Ending with B can be useful to change your trajectory, allowing you to avoid things like rook C throw. Ending with C is great to hit jumpers who are trying to avoid your special throw. Ending with super is kind of a trick shot, but it means the opponent can't simply react with a reversal every time they see your Starlight Tumbler. Setsuki's Air Super is a parry move, sort of like Graves, but with Setsuki's own flair. After she parries an attack, she disappears, leaving a log in her place. The log can hit the opponent depending on the spacing. Also, Setsuki teleports to the ground and becomes invisible. You can actually control which side she teleports to by holding left or right. Sometimes she can juggle the opponent for a second damage, but in any case, she can use her few seconds of invisibility to confuse the opponent into taking even more damage. Unlike Graves' air parry super, Setsuki's works even against projectiles. You can even use it when you're full screen from the opponent in order to turn invisible if you want. When you put all these pieces together, Setsuki can take control of a match. She can throw kunais looking for an opportunity to start her pressure. Then she can go in with Flying Fox threatening a 4 damage combo. She can also pressure with Starlight Tumbler and with her ninja port moves, making the opponent feel like she's all over the place. She takes more inputs per second to play than any other character, which is fitting for a character all about speed. Keep practicing and make the Fox's Den School proud.
この手のキャラの宿命として、操作が忙しいですね。そういうこと。次。ボトム、金。ザンギエフ。金のゴーレム、カーン。
Garrus Rook was once a man, but is now a mighty stone golem. He created the Fantasy Strike tournament as an Olympic-style event to unite the disparate peoples of the realm. As a fighter, Rook is a grappler. He wants to get close to his opponents and throw them. And he's a grappler player's dream because he's got so many tools to get in. Plus, Rook has 8 hit points, the most in the game. His drawbacks are slow walk speed and no projectile attacks, so he really does have to get in. Rook's most important move is his special throw on his C button, Windmill Crusher. It has slow startup for a throw, but to make up for that, it has super, meaning he can take a hit and still perform a grab. That means Rook can throw opponents if they try to jump at him and attack. He can throw opponents who try to poke him or frame trap him. The throw has long enough range that he can simply walk up and throw them too. And it has a lot of active frames, so he can easily throw an opponent as they get up from a knockdown. Windmill Crusher has so many uses that opponents must respect Rook and specifically try to play around getting thrown by it. It does 2 damage, which is a third of most characters' hit points. What can opponents do to get out of a Windmill Crusher? To answer that, we have to understand the difference between a special throw and a normal throw in Fantasy Strike. Windmill Crusher is a special throw. You can jump to get out of special throws. Whenever you input a jump, your character takes 3 frames, which is 3/60th of a second, to prepare for the jump. These are called pre-jump frames, and even these pre-jump frames are immune to special throws. So if your opponent is knocked down right in front of you, and you make them get up into a Windmill Crusher, they can simply hold jump to always get out. Rook can mix up opponents by using his normal throw. Normal throws have fast startup, so they can start grabbing much sooner than his special C throw, and opponents cannot jump out of them. Normal throws do grab pre-jump frames. Most characters deal 1 damage with their normal throws, but Rook, being a grappler, deals 2 damage, and it leaves him in a very favorable position afterwards. He's close enough to threaten with his jumping splash as a cross-up. What can opponents do to get out of his
なん
normal
ていう
throw?
か、
The same thing they can do to get out of any normal throw in the game. They can Yomi counter. If they completely let go of their controls, which is a very risky thing to do, then they
他
will
の格闘ゲームで
automatically
も
reverse your normal throw and they'll get full super meter. Because Rook
投
has
げ
both
キャ
a
ラの
great
投げ、
normal throw
ダメージは
and
増や
great
してもいい
special
んじゃないの。
throw,
2打目で
threatens
2
the
択になるのや
mix-up. Opponents
ば。
can jump out of his special throw, but they can't jump out of his normal throw.
本
Opponents
来
can
はこう
Yomi
あるべ
counter
き
out
だ
of
と
his
思うん
normal
ですけ
throw,
ど
but
ね。
they can't Yomi counter out of his special throw. And to make his mix-up even more deadly, Rook can sometimes do normal attacks. His kick is a huge attack that reaches very far. He can poke with it and sometimes punish attacks with it. It can actually hit
読みカウン
twice
ターあ
if
る
the
から
opponent is
駆け引
close
き
enough.
が面白そう。
And even though the move is slow overall,
うん。
the first hit is fast. When Rook is near a rising opponent, he can just kick before they get up to deal 2 damage. He'll hit opponents who tried to Yomi counter his normal throw, and he'll even hit opponents who tried to jump out
ニ
of
ュ
his
ートラ
special
ルに
throw.
すると、投げ抜けってのがなかなか面白そうですよね。
It's also fast, and it knocks down, resetting the situation.
しかも、しっかり
Rook's
リ
other
ターン
normal
もある。
attack is Thunderclap. It has a full-screen vacuum effect that sucks opponents towards him, even if it whiffs, and even if they're jumping. It also has a big hitbox and it can
引き寄せ
destroy
技だ。
projectiles. He can use it to avoid taking block damage during his approach. And speaking of block damage, Rook's normal attacks can deal block damage because he's just that strong. Rook's other ground special is his Landslide. It's an armored punch that leaps forward. It can take 1 hit and still
シ
keep
ステ
going,
ムだ
so it
け
can punch
こう
through
やって
various
紹介
attacks
され
and
てるのを
projectiles.
見ると、
Landslide is especially useful if you cancel your Thunderclap into it. Thunderclap can cancel to your B and C specials on hit or block, even if the
投げ
hit
の
is
駆け引
just
きと
destroying
か
a projectile. So you can destroy a projectile, then cancel Thunderclap's recovery into
リ
an
スクリ
immediate
ターンとか
landslide
ちゃんと
and
考
hit
え
the
て
opponent if they
作られてるん
immediately
だ
throw
な
a
っ
second
ていう印象
projectile.
はあります
Or you
ね
could。cancel into a Windmill Crusher if they try to punish your Thunderclap with an attack. Careful though, if they're ready for this, they can be patient and beat it. While jumping, Rook has 2 special moves that help him get in. First, his Air B's spinning vines can attack through
ダブルラリアッ
projectiles. It's
ト
a
じゃな
crucial
い
tool
か
in。some matchups. Next, his Air C's Earthquake knocks down opponents from any range, even full screen, but it doesn't damage them. It's unblockable when
完
done from
全
far
に
away like
カービー
this.
のストーン。
After he knocks down an opponent this way, he can then
そして
quickly
スライム前で
glance
キャラの
to get
使い方
close
しっかり
and
紹
threaten
介
a
して
throw.
くれるの嬉しい
This
です
ground
ね。
pound is fast enough that even when Rook is a full screen away, he can still threaten opponents with it.
すべての格闘
Rook's
ゲーム
ground
に見
super
習っ
is an
てほし
amazing
い。
throw that deals a whopping 3 damage. When he activates it, he's invulnerable for a few frames before the cinematic startup. The startup is incredibly fast, which makes Rook especially deadly when he has super meter. Though the opponent
無
can
敵
jump
コ
out
マン
of
ド
his
投げ
throw, if they haven't already started jumping before the cinematic, then it's too late. This makes the mix-up we talked about earlier even more scary. For example, if your opponent gets up next to you and they plan to be tricky by doing nothing for a few frames to possibly Yomi counter your normal throw, and then they hold back just in case you tried to kick, Rook's super beats all of that. If they didn't jump, then they're thrown. The super can also be used against jump-ins. It has infinite hits of super armor. Even though he might get hit and take damage by the attack, he won't be interrupted and he'll still throw the opponent if they land within range. His air super is a headbutt. It's a very high priority attack, and if it hits right at the beginning, it triggers a cinematic for 2 damage. This allows Rook to own air-to-air interactions. He can even use it as an anti-air, making it hard for opponents to approach him. Rook has a wide variety of tools to help him get in. He can spin through
このゲー
projectiles
ム
or、
空
thunderclap.
中ガード、
He can
花園
knock
だ
down
っ
from
け。
full screen, dash in with landslide, or just walk up and throw using his long-range normal and special throws. And when he's
ヘッ
in,
ド
his
パッ
throw
ドが
game
強
is
そうで
solid
す
as a
ね。
rock.
だとしたら。以上。お次。パンダ。行ってみよう。
Lum Bam Fu is a panda who loves gambling, as most pandas do. He's a good-natured jokester, and he just wants some exciting, mildly annoying
鉄拳
things
の
to
パン
happen.
ダに比べる
It's
とな
hard
ん
to
かちょっ
classify
と
Lum's
可愛くないで
gameplay,
す
being the
ね。
wild card that he is, but he basically wants some breathing room in order to set up a bunch of chaos that he hopes ends up going his way. Lum's C button, Item Toss, is the heart of his character.
アイテムを落と
He
す。
throws one of several random items, and you can't
なんだろ
control
う。
which one you get. Fireworks is the best
すごい
item.
斬新な技ですね。
into the air, and then a few seconds later, fireworks rain
なん
down.
てこった。
These fireworks cannot hit Lum, only the opponent, so it gives Lum
今
a
まで
chance
見
to
た
go
こ
on
と
the
ないよう
offense
な
when the opponent
斬
is
新な
probably
技だ。
first to block. You only get fireworks a small percentage of the time, though. Throw as many items as possible to maximize your chances, and then improvise to do your best with whatever you get. His coin, from the card game Pandante, is good anti-air. The bomb can hit both characters, so be careful. The cloud, which is inspired by great
両方のプレイヤーに当たる爆弾。
It even automatically strikes if an opponent is underneath.
なん
The
て
cherries restore
斬新
one
な
hit point.
必殺
Either
技
player
なん
can pick
だ。
them up. The cake gives plus 50% super meter, but any player can pick that up too. The miniature version of Lum crawls along the ground slowly and is actually pretty annoying to deal with. Also, while he's crawling, he no longer counts towards Lum's one at a time limit of items. So you can throw another item, maybe even
地面を
another
ゆっくり
mini.
歩くかとスカルガールズでもこういうもの投げるキャラいま
He's
した
kind
ね。
of like Mini Lum, except he has 3 hit points. So when he hits the opponent, or if the opponent hits him, he keeps going until he's down to 0 hit points.
あまりにも斬新すぎます
Speaking of
ね。
items, Lum's ground super is slots of items. He operates a slot machine that spews out 4
スカルガー
random
ルズにい
items.
たっけ。
Lum can throw an item with the C button and then immediately super for a total of 5 items. It causes a lot of chaos. If you happen to get a cake or two, you can even immediately use the slot machine again. The slot machine itself can hit the opponent, so you can use it as a sort of reversal attack. The first frame they can hit on, Lum is vulnerable though, so if you're in a bad spot, it might trade, and it won't spit out any items if it does. But it is Lum's only good defensive option in a tight spot. Lum's normal moves are generally big because he's a big panda. His back plus A knocks down, his forward plus A reaches a little bit farther, his neutral A is great anti-air and it's pretty fast, his jumping A is good for cross-ups and good for jump-in combos. Lum's B is a rolling attack. This helps him get around the playfield quickly and is especially good for picking up any cherries or cakes that he tosses out. His Air B, polar cartwheel, is an unusual move. Lum is totally vulnerable and cannot even hit the opponent as he dives down, lands on the trampoline, and starts to jump off. After this long startup period though, he cartwheels in the air with amazing hitboxes and priority. It's also completely safe and he can combo after it. Lum is especially well suited to have a move like this because he can do the move when items are keeping the opponent too busy to hit him out of his startup. His Air C is a projectile, and although it's slow, that can actually be useful because it gives him more hang time. This helps him avoid the blast from his own bombs. Lum's Air Super, Roll the Dice, summons 3 huge dice that he can then bounce around the playfield. Different attacks cause the dice to fly in different directions. His rolling attack is especially useful to knock all the dice at once, often in an attempt to deal block damage. He can also save them for combos, or bounce them around one at a time to make it hard for the opponent to attack him. Lum's weakness is that he doesn't have a great reversal, meaning a fast attack to get him out of trouble.
守りが弱
He
い。
needs a bit of time to get his item craziness going, but if the opponent fails to pressure him enough, he can create some crazy situations that make him feel incredibly powerful. To play Lum, you have to really improvise, develop your item sense, and take advantage of whatever happens, and a lot can happen. So roll the dice, play the slots, and make the gambling pandas proud.
なるほど。予想ではなかったですが。まあ。まま。そこはアイテム次第なところがあるから多少は、ね。それじゃ。ついってみよう。これ見ると攻撃ボタン6個とか技が100個とかいらない気がしてならない。僕もそう思います。
who say that Quince's reputation is built entirely on lies and illusions, but they're just dissidents and criminals. Quince is a tricky, deceptive character. He uses mix-ups so the opponent doesn't know how to block, and illusions so they don't know what to attack.
完全に アーケード時代の名残なんだよな、と思いますね。今のパッドが主流のゲームの時代には、
Quince's B special is
攻撃ボタン6つは合ってない気がしますね。
Afterwards, an illusion of Quince automatically appears above the opponent and dashes downward to do his low standard. The illusion can't hit or be hit, though. It's just for confusion. But if you press the B button twice, then the real Quince performs the high standard, then low standard, and the illusion becomes the Quince that stood still between those moves. Low standard is a cross-up, so the opponent will have to block it the other way, but they aren't sure which Quince is real, so if they try to block a low standard, they might end up walking into your attack or throw. Quince's neutral A is a simple punch, but a very important one. It's his fastest hitting ground move, and it can combo into his B attack. Also, if he does BB and the low standard cross-up hits, he can then combo that to A and then B for 3 damage while keeping the opponent in his mix-up blender. His back A normal attack is Truth Geyser, a ground pound that erupts a fountain of coins because money is the ultimate truth. This move launches on hit, allowing for a juggle. It's easy to juggle with his forward A lunging punch. The sequence back A, forward A, cancel the B will deal 2 damage and cause the B to hit very meaty. That's an unfortunate fighting game term, meaning that the very end of the attack will touch them, and it makes you especially safe afterwards. His forward A is also notable in that you can hold the button down to send out an illusion to fool the opponent. They might try to react to it, but the real Quince is waiting to punish. It's fast, so it's low risk to throw out that illusion here and there. Quince's C special move, Dodge the Question, can get him out of trouble. He's invulnerable from the very first frame of this attack as he splits into 2 images. This lets him slip out of sticky situations as the expert politician he is. You control which Quince is the real one by holding left to right. After the split, he will automatically perform his Righteous Zeal attack, and so will the illusion of him. If the opponent expects this move, they can punish it, but it can be pretty confusing which is which. Quince's jumping attacks are a punch, his B button, positive spin, and his C button mirror called alternative effects. There's a lot going on with his positive spin move. It's generally unsafe, but there's a lot you can do with it. First, he can hold down the button to make an illusion of it. The real Quince will continue his jump out when you do this, so you can create a positive spin illusion, then come down with a real punch. Next, after doing either a real or illusion version of this move, he can do another action in the air. So he can do air B twice in a row, or an illusion B and then a real B, or a real B and then an illusion B. That sequence is especially useful because it leaves him safe afterwards. His Air C mirror can hit the opponent for 0 damage, which is still useful because it puts them in hit stun and generally gets in their way. It can also reflect projectiles. That's pretty useful, but you can also put it over their head anytime you get a chance, then start pressuring. Another use of the mirror is placing it after doing Air B, just to get it in their way. You can even set up tricky situations like knocking them down with Air B, placing the mirror behind them, and then threaten with a lunge punch. If it hits, the mirror's hit stun allows you to combo a punch into B for 3 damage. You can also just stay back, place a mirror, and do some illusion Air B moves just to give the opponent the opportunity to react in a stupid way. Quince's ground super, Patriot Mirror, gives him access to a huge amount of power if he can pull it off. The mirror itself can reflect projectiles, and while it doesn't do any damage, if it hits, it then triggers a time-limited mode called 2 Truths. A blue meter counts down, showing how much time you have left in this mode. In the mode, all his illusions are real. That means they can actually hit the opponent. If the opponent hits an illusion, it will go away, but the true Quince won't take any damage. During 2 Truths, your lunge punch becomes a rapid-fire lockdown. It will only combo twice, but it's still pretty good. His Air B becomes a huge, slow-moving projectile that he can do twice each jump. And pressing ground B once for high standard gives you the benefit of a real illusion low standard without the true Quince having to spend time in that animation. That lets him do some powerful combos, mix-ups, and lockdowns. Another note about Patriot Mirror. Even if they block it, the mirror won't go away until they block it 3 times. That gives you a chance to mix them up with BB while they're stuck blocking. Quince's Air Super, Consent of the Governed, is a full-screen flying punch. Regardless of if it hits or not, 2 illusionary quinces appear to fight alongside you. They do random moves and create a
なん
lot
だ
of
かすごい
confusion.
ことになっちゃった
Consent of the
ぞ。
governed is invulnerable at the start, which ensures you'll win any air-to-air battles. This is especially important after your B special, High Standard. That puts opponents in a mix-up where they don't know if you'll attack or throw from the front, or cross up from behind, and they might try to jump out to avoid that mix-up. If they do, you can beat their jump with your invulnerable Air Super. You can even use the Air Super as a way to get in safely and start your mix-ups since it's safe on block. If your Air Super counter-hits, meaning hits the opponent out of the start of their move, it has the special property of giving you full super meter. It also causes a ground bounce that lets you combo for 3 damage or combo into
こ
your
のキャラに
Patriot
慣れて
Mirror
引
ground
退
super.
する初心者の姿
Your
が見え
dream
る。
scenario is if you can be in 2 truths mode from Patriot Mirror while also having illusions
だい
out
ぶ
from your
初心
consent
者
of the
殺し
governed
の
Air Super.
性能は
The
して
2
そう
ways
で
to
す
do
ね
that。are to counter hit with the Air Super, then combo into the ground super as we just showed, or you can start off by hitting with the ground super, then Yomi counter a throw to get full super meter, then immediately Air Super. Either way, if you pull off this dream scenario, you'll be fighting alongside multiple illusionary copies of Quince that can actually hit the
おかしく
opponent,
なりそう
while still
だ。
being able to spawn illusions from your other moves that can really hit the opponent too. It's ridiculous. Quince sometimes has to stay back and just place mirrors and poke with Air B canceled into Illusion Air B while he looks for openings. When he really gets going though, he can put his opponent on tilt as they question
対
how
戦
and
相
what
手
they're
の脳
even
み
supposed to
そ
block.
への負担
He
が半
loves
端
being
な
in
いで
2
すね。
truths mode as
こい
much
つ
as he
強す
can
ぎない
because he
か。
loves honesty and truth. And why just have 1 truth when you can have 2?
めちゃくちゃ強そう。ということでね。半分終わりました。まだ半分いるぞい。
Jaina Stormborn is reckless, rebellious, and a bit of a show-off. That's exactly why Master Midori taught her archery as a way to instill some patience.
君なんかイラ
She
スト
wields
と
a
か多くな
magical
い。
bow with an endless supply of flame arrows. Jaina is a strong zoning character, one of the best in the game at keeping opponents away. She does it by creating an obstacle course of flame arrows. Her B button shoots a flame arrow. She can do that on the ground or in the air. On the ground, she can hold down the B button to charge it up. Her level 2 shot destroys enemy projectiles and keeps on going. Her level 3 shot is unblockable. In the air,
貯め
holding
る
B
とガードオフ
doesn't
の
charge up her shots, but it
そ
does
れ
allow
はそ
her to
の
extend her hang time,
フォト
which
ショ
can
ッ
be
プっ
helpful.
てのがあってね。
Jaina's Air C shoots a different kind of flame arrow
フォトショ
diagonally
ッ
up,
プ
and then it rains down a bit
MAGIC
later. The most important thing to know about it is that she can have as
ヨ
many
ガ
of these shots
アーチ
on
だ。
screen as she can get. Usually, in Fantasy Strike and most fighting games, you can't shoot a projectile while your previous projectile is still on screen. For example, Jaina can only have 1 horizontal shot on screen at any given time, whether that's her Air B or her Ground B. But she can do Air C shots in addition to that. And to amp it up, her Air Super fires off 3 of these shots at once, and all of that can be in addition as well. For
普通
example,
の
she
飛び
can
道具も出
jump
せ
C
るの。
and then
強そう
jump。Air Super and then land and shoot her horizontal B shot. That's a lot of projectiles at once, and it's also a good setup to try to land her unblockable level 3 shot while the opponent is dealing with the rain of fire. Jaina's knee, her forward A normal attack, has a lot of uses. She can travel forward quickly with it, and it's a pretty high priority attack. On hit or on block, she can cancel into an air special. This lets her combo knee into Air B for 2 hits. If you happen to hit the opponent out of the air really high up, you can actually combo into another knee and then into Air B for 3 damage. Her neutral A is a fast kick that also cancels the specials. Her jumping A is a dive kick with a very shallow angle. She can't really use it to get close to opponents, but if she's already near them, it lets her put together some pretty good rushdown. Her standard 3-hit combo is dive kick, knee, Air B. She can also dive kick, neutral A, ground B. Her roundhouse kick, done with back plus A,
伝
can't
統と
cancel the
信頼の
special
飛び
moves,
込
but it
み、
reaches
コ
pretty
ンボ。
far. It lets her poke or sometimes punish things that she otherwise couldn't, because her roundhouse hits faster at long range than any of her other attacks. Jaina usually wants to keep opponents away and make them deal with a lot of arrow shots, but what if they manage to get close? She has 2 invulnerable moves to knock opponents off her, but they each have drawbacks. Keep in mind that even a bad reversal attack is extremely powerful on a solid keep-away character. Jaina's first reversal option is Dragonheart, which is her ground C attack. It's an invulnerable Dragon Punch style move that knocks opponents away. It has slow startup, but even more notably, it damages herself. Yes, really. You have to be very careful with this move. But if you only have one life left, it won't kill you, so you can go hog wild at that point. But keep in mind that Dragonheart is completely unsafe on block. Even though taking self-damage is a big drawback, it can be worth it. If the opponent is jumping into you and you have to choose between blocking or Dragonheart, well, if you block, it lets the opponent start doing what they want to do. But if you Dragonheart, it will damage them for one, as well as damage you for one. And it will leave the opponent at full screen. You probably have to block your next Flame Arrow too. That way, you're doing what you want to do. Jaina's second reversal option is her Ground Super Red Dragon. It doesn't cost her life to use, but it has an enormously long startup. She has to predict a move quite early to hit with Red Dragon. Jumping opponents can even block it on reaction if she does it too late. It still has its uses though, and it does 2 damage. Jaina excels at filling the screen with flame arrows and forcing the opponent to figure out how to deal with it. She can vary the timing of her obstacle course to frustrate opponents. If they stay back, they'll end up taking block damage or even get hit by her unblockable level 3 shot as her air super rains down. When things go wrong, can you afford the one life to Dragonheart them off you? Can you afford not to? Jaina is a bit of a paradox in that she combines patience and recklessness in her own unusual style.
敵技。無敵技。まあ、冷静に考えて、5すぎるよね。そんなものが、ノー、コストで、出していいのかというと。じゃあ、良くないと思いますよ。ストリートファイター6は、無敵技、ちゃんとコストがかかりますからね。これもうリリースされてるんですか？そのぐらいが健全な姿だと、思います。はい、されています。2019年に正式リリースされているらしいです。現在は、基本無料。無料で全てのキャラクターが、使えて、ランクマッチもできます。2000円ぐらいで、有料版を、買うと、一人用、プレイのモードが、3つぐらい解禁されます。ボスラッシュ、アーケードモード、サバイバルモード。これらのモードが解禁されます。無料だと。当時から基本無料だった記憶。1回のみの対戦と。当時は無料だと4人くらいしかキャラ使えなかった。なるほどね。いろいろ変わってるんですね。通信対戦。フレンド、マッチ。フレンドがまだいません。フレンドは別売り。悲しいなぁ。悲しいね。まあまあまあまあ、まだ、いません。フレンドは別売り。まあまあまあまあ。次のキャラ、見ていきましょう。
Argagar Garg is a water shaman and patient fish, known in his circles for
発
his
音し
wise
づらい名前
advice,
だな。
even though outsiders wrongly view the fish folk as a savage and violent race, but they couldn't be more wrong. Argagarg is a zoner, a keep-away character. His long-range attacks and water waves keep his opponents far away, while his poison ticks away at their life. Let's start with his normal
毒を
attacks.
使う。
His forward A attack reaches across the entire
やはり
screen
オ
and
ル
you
バ
can
スでは
cancel it to special moves. It's a great zoning tool. His back
ダルシム
A punches
だ
are
ったわ。
short range but very high priority. Have the courage to use this small but effective
ヨ
attack
ガも
to
使え
hit
そ
jumping
う。
opponents and keep them off of you. His neutral A punch reaches really far, and while
ダ
it
ルシ
doesn't
ム
have
と
the
ウ
high
ルバスの
priority
子
of his
供。
back A, the range makes up for it. If you counter hit a jumper, that is, hit them out of the startup of their attack, they'll fall on their back, and you can combo to forward A for 2 damage. Also keep in mind that Argagard can cancel all 3 of his ground normal attacks into specials. Jumping A is another long-range attack, this time diagonally downward. Argagard's flying fish moves are done with the B button. He can press B for a blue fish made of water, or hold B for a purple, poisoned version. The poison version is central to his character, so let's cover that first. The poison fish is really large for starters. It also passes through all obstacles. Enemy projectiles or other objects can't stop it. And it's unblockable. Yes, really, it's unblockable. When it hits, it poisons the opponent. They don't take any damage immediately, but they'll eventually take 2 damage from this poison unless they hit you. If they hit Argagard while they're poisoned, they'll be cured. While they're poisoned, there's an icon of a flask that moves across their life bar. That shows how long until the poison will take away that particular hit point. Notice that if the opponent gets knocked down, or if they put Argagard into block stun by forcing him to block a move, the flask will momentarily pause its countdown. That's minor though. The main thing to understand here is that the poison fish's unblockable, unstoppable nature forces the opponent to act. They can't just sit there and do nothing. You can also stack multiple poison fish to poison more and more of their life bar. They could be on the hook to lose 6 or 8 hit points if you can keep them away for that long. And that brings us to the drawback of this move. If they hit you within a few seconds of getting poisoned, then the poison didn't actually do anything. You have to be able to keep them away long enough for the poison to tip to harness Argagard's full potential. Also, the poison fish has another unusual drawback. It doesn't cause any hit stun. The opponent can simply hit you while you're doing it. They can walk straight through it, get hit by it, but then hit you back. So be careful to only use it when it's safe. You get the poison fish by holding down the B button, but if you press and release the B button, you get the blue flying fish. This one is made of water, so it doesn't actually deal any damage at all. It does splash opponents on hit and stuns them for so long that you can usually hit them with your forward A attack for 1 damage. And even if you don't hit them with that, it's still valuable to waste their time with the blue fish if they're poisoned. Argagard's C special is Rushing River. He summons a river of water that pushes opponents back. Again, this is helpful to waste their time if they're poisoned, and to keep them away from Argagard regardless of whether they're poisoned or not. He's better off fighting from a distance. While the river is out, you can press C again to summon an orange fish that jumps out of the river. You can hold back, neutral, or forward during that C button press to get 3 different angles of this fish. It's a real fish, not made of water, so it does actual damage. The neutral version of this is great for keeping away opponents and hitting them if they try to jump in. The back version is good at hitting jumpers who are much closer to you, and the forward version is good for applying some pressure. You can also summon these orange fish even while you're doing another move, or while you're in block stun. There's a bunch of trickery you can do with this, on both the air and the ground. Air B is his staff drill. It's a pretty good priority attack that can be used defensively if you jump back and do it, or offensively if you jump forward. You usually can't combo after it, but you can at least try to pressure afterwards. Air C is his sparkling bubble. This lets you travel horizontally through the air, and you can hold left or right as you initiate it to travel in either direction. During your travels, you can press C again to pop the bubble. The pop is invulnerable after a short startup. You can use this bubble even after doing your jumping A punch. That lets you hit the opponent and then back away to safety, or pressure them and threaten a pop if you're feeling risky. You can also combine the bubble with the ground C's orange fish. Do Rushing River, then immediately jump in Sparkling Bubble. As you travel, pressing C will summon the river's orange fish. Then you can choose to pop the bubble with another C button press if you want. For an even more powerful bubble, Argagard's ground super is Bubble Shield. This summons a bubble around him that you can pop by pressing S again. While the bubble is popping, Argagard can still move around, block, do attacks, etc. The pop even moves forward with him if you walk. Another really powerful aspect of Bubble Shield is that you can pop it even if you're in block stuck.
なんてこっ
So you
た。
can block a move, and while you're stuck in block pose for a moment, you can pop the bubble to hit the opponent out of their attack. Plus, there's another powerful property of Bubble Shield. When you initiate it, the game is briefly paused. This lets you
初心
see
者
what the
派技だ
opponent
け
is doing
紹
and
介され
allows
て
you
も
to
連
take
携
correct
とか想像できないから
response
ね。
It's especially good to do as you get it from a knockdown
So,
when the opponent has you in a mix-up. Another property to know about,
こうや
while
って
Bubble
使い
Shield is
方を
up,
見
your
せて
Air
くれ
Sea
るのはいい
Sparkling
です
Bubble
ね。
is powered up too. It travels faster, and the pop of this super bubble has a huge invulnerable hitbox. You'll fall to the ground faster after popping it too. While you're falling from this air super pop, you can do another air move before you land. Try popping the powered up bubble in the air, and then air A for a combo, or pop and then back air C to run away. That said, you'll use up your Bubble Shield this way. That can be worth it since you're building up super meter this whole time anyway. Argagarg's Air Super, Giant Fish, is straightforward to use because it does exactly what he generally wants to do: push the opponent away and waste their time. It's especially annoying when he combines it with his ground B and C special moves to keep them away. Let's look more closely at some pressure sequences Argagarg can do to keep the opponent busy.
グレート、
When you do
山田、
Rushing River,
アタ
you
ッ
can
ク
then。spit a flying fish right afterwards, then summon the river's orange fish. Follow up with forward A, flying fish
なるほど。
again, and then repeat the sequence. Or you can open with a forward A long punch, cancel to flying fish, rushing river, flying fish, orange fish, and then air super. You can then long punch them before and after the giant fish hits for a great combo, and then keep up the pressure afterwards. Even on block, this wastes a lot of time and lets your poison damage tick. Argagarg is a difficult character to play, not because doing any of his moves is hard,
ちゃん
but
と
because
毒の
there's
時
so
間
much he
の
can do,
稼げ
and it will
て、
all
法
fall
も
apart
紹介
unless
し
you
て
can
くれ
zone
る
them
のが
long enough
あり
for
がたい
poison
ね。
to do something. And you have to really know how to get out of trouble with brave
よ
uses
く
of
でき
back
てる
A,
ね。
bubble shield, or just a lot of blocking when you're getting pressured. And you have to take control of the match with maximum
キャラ紹
obnoxiousness
介
when you're
動
far
画も
away.
よくできてる。
Philosophically, Argagarg believes in defeating opponents through patience, and if you actually have the patience to learn to play him, then you will truly understand him, as his fellow fish do.
楽しみでした。以上、ダルシムでした。ついってみよう。
Valerie
こんな
Rose
に
is a
よくできて
creative
るのに
painter
流行ら
with
な
the
かっ
bursts of
たのが
energy
残
and
念。
feelings of despair that come with manic depression. She also has heterochromia, meaning she has one green eye and one blue eye.
格闘ゲームは、格闘ゲームが、生き残るのは厳しい。
Valerie is a rushdown character. She can deal high damage and she can apply a lot of
君なん
one
か、
green eye and one has one green eye and one creative painter
イラ
with
ス
the
トと
bursts
か
of
多くな
energy
い。
chromia, meaning she has Valerie Rose heterochromia, meaning she has one green eye and one blue eye. Valerie Rose is a creative painter with the
君
bursts
なん
of
か、
energy and feelings of despair. Might be why she sees things
顔、
differently.
良くないですか？
Valerie is a rushdown character. She can deal high damage and she can apply a lot of pressure through block damage and mix-ups. She only has 5 hit points though, which is tied for least in the game.
服も違うな、
Valerie's
わらわ
Three
ら。
Colors series is her most
外人
important
派細
attack.
かいことは気にしないからね。
Things differently. She sees things differently and one
君
blue
なん
eye,
か、
which might be why she sees things differently. Why
イ
she
ラス
sees
トだ
things
と、
differently. Valerie is a rush. Valerie is
服
a
がなんか
rushdown
偉いこ
character.
とになっ
She
て
can
ない
deal
です
high
か？
damage and she can apply a lot of pressure through block damage and mix-ups. She only has 5 hit points though, which is tied for least in the game. Valerie's Three Colors series is her
細
most
かいことは
important
気に
attack.
しないっ
By
て、
pressing
言って
B
も限
3
度があるだ
times,
ろ
she
う。
paints attacks with cyan, magenta, and yellow colors in quick succession. During each of these 3 hits, you can hold back, neutral, or forward to change the ranges of the moves. The first 2 hits, cyan and magenta, are a true combo, but the yellow hit that comes third does not combo. Instead, it's a mix-up. You can hold forward during yellow, and you will cross the opponent up. Hold neutral during yellow to stay on the same side instead. You can also hold back during yellow to do a quick retreat. This can bait the opponent into attacking.
表
Try
裏の
cyan
戦い
magenta
をかけられ
retreat,
る。
then cyan magenta again for some pressure. Valerie's C button
料理
move
の
is
2択が
Rainbow
できる。
Stroke. It's a pretty high priority
やりま
attack
す
that
ね、
hits
カ
at a
プン
lot
コ。
of angles.
俺を見習え。
The startup of it can even go through projectiles. Valerie can do a rainbow stroke during her 3-color series too. She can do cyan
カプ
into
コンは
it
別
or
になら
cyan
な
then
くていいかな。
magenta into rainbow stroke. Rainbow stroke is safe on block, so it's a good ender. The sequence cyan, magenta, rainbow stroke is 3 different special
モデル
moves,
とか
which
キャ
is
ラク
enough
タ
to
ーデ
deal
ザイ
a
ン
full
に
point
関
of
して
block
は
damage. That's a lot of pressure, especially considering it's at least 2 damage if the cyan move happens to
完
hit.
全にアークでしょ。
ARC is her flying rainbow stroke. It's pretty similar
ア
to
ー
the
クシ
ground
ステム
version,
ワー
but
ク
it
スを見
travels
習う
much
べき。
farther. It's useful to get in an opponents if you're far away, and if you happen to hit jumping opponents with it, you can juggle for extra damage. Valerie's Air B cross-stroke move is a deadly cross-up. Its disadvantage is that it cannot hit until just after she lands, but once she does, the paint trail behind her hits, and it can be hard to block. On hit, she can combo into BB. Even on block, that's a guaranteed full point of block damage. Valerie's normal attacks are quite good as well.
ガード
Her
されて
forward
も
A
確
is a
実
very
に
long and
HP
fast
を
poke.
削
Her
れる。
neutral A is fast too, and it can
やばい
cancel
で
to
すね。
specials. If you cancel it with B, it will go directly into the yellow attack though, not the full cyan, magenta, yellow sequence. Even A to yellow is effective because it threatens a mix-up as to which side the yellow will hit them on. Her double kick is a slow attack, but still a very useful one. It does 2 damage if it hits, and if they block it, Valerie recovers soon enough to have lots of frame advantage. That, combined with her already fast moves, means the opponent will likely get hit if they try to do anything after blocking it. It even has a bit of throw invulnerability as she hops forward. Her jumping A can be a high source of damage. She can press A twice to air juggle for 2 damage. She can often land and juggle with a neutral A for a 3rd point of damage and then cancel that into yellow to force a mix-up for a possible 4th point of damage. She can also get 4 damage off jumping AA, then BB after landing. Valerie's ground super, Chromatic Orb, is kind of like a Dragon Punch in other fighting games. It's invulnerable and gets opponents off her if she's getting pressured too much. It only does 1 damage, though against cornered jumpers she
オ
can
ーソド
juggle
ッ
for
ク
a
スな
2nd
無
damage.
敵技っ
While
て感
Chromatic
じで
Orb
す
can
ね。
be good anti-air and can be used to bait opponents into attacking at wrong times, it's her other super that's truly deadly. Her air super is Rainbow Disc. It has slow startup, so she has to really earn a moment in the fight to summon it. If she can put it above an opponent, she can go crazy though. If they get hit, they will take a ton of damage. If they block, they'll take a ton of block damage. Be careful though,
大
while
変
they're
なこと
blocking
に
the
なっ
disc,
た
they're
ぞ。
still able to do fast, invulnerable attacks between hits. She can go for mix-ups like repeated cross strokes or multiple yellow swipes while they're locked in place. Try to save your meter for rainbow discs if you can, but settle for Chromatic Orb if you're getting pressured too much. Valerie has the potential to
なるほど
deal
ね。
a lot of damage really fast. She can trick opponents with frame traps from her double kick, with retreats from her 3 colors, and she can force them to block correctly or die against deadly cross strokes and rainbow discs. You might feel down sometimes when things don't line up, like when you die
火力
using
が
only
高い
5
タイ
hit
プのキャ
points.
ラクタ
But
ーな
when
ん
a
で
plan
す
comes
ね。
together with Valerie, it feels like a work of
その
art.
代わり、柔らかい。なるほどね。次。緑。安藤緑。
Master Ando Midori taught Grave and Jaina how to fight. He's a careful, honorable teacher who is able to take the form of a mighty dragon. Midori is a grappler. He has no projectiles, so he wants to get close and throw his opponents. Every so often, he can transform into a dragon, which lets him play as an entirely different, very powerful character. Midori's normal throw is one of his most important moves. It has
緑ちゃん
really
って
long
顔
range
ドラ
and
ゴン
does 2
ドラゴン
damage.
に変身す
It
る。
also leaves the opponent standing, so they have to think quickly about what to do next.
辰
as
年に
Midori
ぴっ
can
たり
threaten
の
to
キャラ
leap
クター
into
です
another
ね。
throw. Midori's normal attacks are his
説
chop,
明、見逃
double
したわ。
Midori's which lets him play as an entirely different, very powerful character.
緑ちゃん。
Midori's normal throw is one of his most important moves. It has
安
really
藤さ
long
んだっ
range
たら
and
納
does 2
得
damage.
なんですけど
It
ね。
also leaves the opponent standing, so they have to think quickly about what to do next, as Midori can threaten to loop into another
い
throw.
や、冷静に考
Midori's
え
normal
ると、
attacks are his chop, double strike, and sweep. By
安
pressing
藤
the
さ
A
んっていう
button
顔
twice,
でもない
he does
な。
a rapid flurry of punches. You can mash A and he'll keep doing more flurries. He can also cancel his chop or his double strike into this. When an opponent gets up near Midori, they might be afraid of his throw. If they expect a throw, they might let go of their controls and try to Yomi counter him. The mix-up is that instead of throwing, he can simply press AA to hit them for 2 damage. Midori's C button is a parry. It doesn't work against throws or projectiles, but if a strike hits his parry, he'll take no damage and automatically hit back. He also gains super meter for parry. If this parry strike actually hits the opponent, Midori gains a crazy power-up and a glow showing that he's in this empowered mode. While empowered, if Midori is able to throw the opponent, he does so automatically with no button presses, with a special throw that only happens in this mode. There are a lot of crazy uses of this, and Midori can even hold back to block while still threatening this throw. People can jump out of this special throw, though they can't Yomi counter. After Midori performs his empowered throw, he'll lose the special state, and he has to parry another attack to get into it again. If he gets hit while empowered, he'll also lose the state. Interestingly though, if he's in the empowered mode, you can still normal throw. That's good to do because it does 2 damage instead of the empower throw's 1 damage, and it lets you keep the empowered throw so you can continue to threaten with it. Midori's B button does a flying kick on the ground or in the air. This is mainly to help him get close to the opponent. His air C is a flying butt slam. It hits on the way down, but not on the way up, and is surprisingly safe on block, allowing for some throw setups. This is very useful in helping him get in because it can avoid a lot of obstacles the opponent might put up. Midori's jumping forward A is a fairly shallow jump kick that can lead to a combo. His jumping straight up A is a different move though, and it gives him a little extra mobility. He can steer it forward or back in the air. Steering forward can help get over projectiles, and generally helps him threaten with it. Steering back allows him to attack, but pull back from danger if the situation looks bad. Midori's super, both ground and air versions, transforms him into a dragon. Remember, parrying gives him super meter, so the more moves you parry, the more you'll be able to turn into dragon form. While in dragon form, your super meter counts down, giving you a time limit until you revert back to human form. You do get to remain in dragon form across rounds. His dragon moves are generally crazy. His AA does a 2-hit attack with enormous hitboxes. It's great anti-air and it does 2 damage. He can even still do air moves after his AA. His forward AA reaches pretty far and does 2 damage as well. His back plus A is a tail sweep that reaches ridiculously far and fast. Midori's Dragon Form B on the ground and in the air is a torpedo that's way more powerful than his human form's flying kick. It's fast and high priority. When the ground version hits or is blocked, he bounces back and can still do air moves, such as another air B. His Dragon Form C button does different kinds of throws in the ground and in the air. On the ground, he dashes forward and goes for a Dragon Buster. The dash has infinite hits of super armor, meaning no matter how many times he gets hit during it, he keeps going and still tries to throw. His air C is a talon swoop that flies across the screen to grab opponents. Both these throws deal 2 damage. Neither can be countered, and in both cases the opponent can jump out. Let's not forget his jumping A in Dragon Form. It's probably the best normal attack in the game. It's huge, high priority, and hits for 2 damage. Another thing you should be aware of is how his transformation itself affects gameplay. As he transforms, gameplay briefly pauses, and this gives you a moment to react to what the opponent is doing. You can transform, then AA to anti-air the or transform and C if you see that they'll be unable to avoid that special throw, or simply transform and normal throw them suddenly. Midori's incredible bear hug throw and parry make him scary when up close, but he can struggle to get in sometimes. Opponents can't keep him away forever though. If they stall long enough, they're just letting him turn into a dragon. Why not be a dragon the entire match then, you ask? Because a win doesn't really mean much unless it's done fair and honorably. So you know, only a little bit of dragon here and there.
なぜこのゲームは流行らなかったのか。安藤先生でした。なぜなのか。なんか、STEAM のレビューを見ると、キャラバランスがどうだとか、結局強い行動を押し付けるゲームになってるとか、そういうことが書いてありましたね。
His primary motivation is exposing the truth, and his primary physical skill
結
is
局、キ
punching.
ャラ、バランス
Gray
が
was granted
大事って
unnaturally
こと
long
なん
life
だ
by
な。
Persephone, and she left behind her ghostly friend to watch over her. Jefferson DeGray is a
飛
lawyer
ばしちゃった。
Jefferson DeGray is a lawyer who fights for justice.
お
His
次、
primary motivation is exposing the truth,
弁護
and
士。
his primary physical skill is punching.
逆転
Gray
裁
was
判
granted
かな。
unnaturally long life by Persephone, and she left behind her ghostly friend to watch over DeGray and make sure he keeps up his quest of fighting tyrants. DeGray's gameplay isn't about rushdown exactly, and it isn't about zoning either. It's about frame trapping, which means making the opponent attack at the wrong times and punishing them for it greatly. Whenever you hit an opponent out of the startup of their moves in Fantasy Strike, you get a counter hit that stuns them slightly longer. But DeGray in particular has a special property.
カウンター、
His
ヒ
counter
ッ
hits
ト。
cause much more dramatic effects,
まあ、
like wall
そうで
bounces
す
and
ね。
ground bounces. DeGray's B button special
これ
is
は
counterpoint step. He quickly dashes back, then forward again,
単時、
and he can
ス
end
テ
the
ッ
move
プ。
three different ways by pressing either A, B, or C. A
ス
ends
レ
with
イヤー、
daggerfall
お前こ
thrust,
ん
a
なと
punch
ころ
that's
にいた
very
の
safe
か。
on block and gives a lot of frame advantage, which you can see from the blue symbol that appears on block. B ends with his powerful Tyrant Crusher, which does 2 damage. If you counter
こ
hit
れは
with it, it wall bounces the opponent and you can
タイ
Tyrant
ル版
Crusher
か。
again. He even says a different voice line if you do. Ending with C
スレイヤ
does
ー、
Justice
お前
Kiss,
こんな
an
ところにい
invulnerable
たの
attack
か。パン
that's
チ。
unsafe on block. DeGray's C button sends his ghost out to grab the opponent.
マッ
If
パ
she
パン
grabs
チ。
them, she won't do any damage, but they're stunned briefly, so DeGray can hit them
そのう
himself.
ち、
A
俳
good
句、
technique
読
is
み
to
そ
send
う
out。the ghost, then counterpoint step, and simply react to what happens. If the ghost grabs, then Tyrant Crusher. If not, then end with a safe punch or with no ender at all. Air C also summons the ghost and can be used in similar ways to the ground C. You can also do some
ゴーストを飛ばして
cross-up trickery with the air version. DeGray's neutral A
相
punch
手を
can combo
拘束
to a
できる
second
ぞ。
hit if you press A twice.
強
If
そ
the
う。
ghost grabs the opponent when you're nearby, this is a good way to get 2 quick damage. Or you can punch and then cancel the second punch into the ghost summon to keep up the pressure. His forward A is a forward moving shoulder attack that he can cancel into ground specials. His back A ground pound has really long range, and on counter hit, it sends the opponent flying so you can Tyrant Crusher them. You can actually combo his shoulder attack and then Tyrant Crusher if the ground pound counter hit, which lets him do 4 damage mid-screen, but you have to really work to set up that situation. DeGray's Air B can cancel to a second hit if you press the button twice. This move gives him a lot of mobility and it lets him chase down opponents if he's far away. He can jump in and go for 2 damage with it, and on block, opponents aren't sure if he'll do 1 or 2 attacks.
追加、
As an
入
air-to-air
力、
move,
出
it's
せる、
difficult to
飛び
juggle
蹴
for
り。
2 damage with it, but on counter hit, it is possible.
バンデッドリボル
DeGray's
バー
ground
かな。
super is a parry move called Ghost Riposte. If an opponent attacks into it with a strike, he'll automatically reverse it into a powerful 2-fisted punch for 2 damage. Opponents can throw DeGray if he tries to go for this, and they can hit him with projectiles, but the threat of Ghost Riposte can make it difficult for some characters to attack him. DeGray's air super, Final Arbiter, is a fast, full-screen punch of justice. He can use it to get in, or to sneak in a point of damage that he couldn't otherwise get, but the real dream is if you counter hit with it. In that case, it does a whopping 3 damage, so the fun of this move is fishing for that moment when you think the opponent will do something, and then counter hit them out of it. Playing DeGray has a different rhythm than other characters. He wants to counterpoint step a lot and send out his ghost a lot. He's fishing for a moment when the opponent does the wrong thing, so he can suddenly do a lot of damage. As a lawyer, DeGray will tell you that his opponents are bound to make a misplay sooner or later, and when they do, he'll be ready.
なるほどね。以上。弁護士。ビサモン。ビサモン、じゃないか。お前
General
こんなとこ
Onomaru
ろ
is a
にいた
master
のか。
tactician in charge of the Flagstone army.
なん
He's
か近く
physically
ない。
imposing and demands discipline from his soldiers. He's also adept at personal combat, where he wields an enormous sword. Onomaru's moves and movement are generally very slow, but extremely powerful. He deals a ton of damage and uses armor to power through hits to create favorable trades. Onomaru has a unique mechanic called Guard Crush. Normally, when opponents block 3 special or super moves, they lose a point of life, which we call block damage. But against Onomaru, rather than taking block damage, they get hit for real. To help opponents know they're in danger of this, Whenever they block 2 such moves, a shield icon with a crack in it appears over their character,
バードクラッ
indicating
シュ。
they're in danger of a guard crush.
なるほ
If
ど。
they try to block a 3rd move capable of block damage, that icon shatters and they get hit rather than blocking. Onimaru's guard crush is even more threatening because all his blade attacks are capable of dealing block damage, even 2 of his normal moves, back A and forward A. Back A is a sweep, while forward A is a deadly overhead slice that deals 2 damage. His neutral A doesn't deal block damage, but it's his fastest attack. All of these normal attacks can cancel to special moves. Onimaru's B special attack, Tactical Slice, is a poke with huge range that deals a whopping 2 damage. The part where he spins around is invulnerable to projectiles, so he can step around them to hit the opponent.
玉ねぎできる。
The recovery of this move puts him in a special stance where he
玉を
can't
抜け
block,
れる
but
リ
he
ーチ
can
の
do
長
3
い
different
打
enders,
撃。
Shoulder Ram, Spirit Fire, or Parry. Press A
派生
for a
技も
fast
ある
shoulder
よ。
ram that gives frame advantage on
適当
block.
に剣振れば
Press
戦え
B
そう
for a
だから
slow
これ派
attack
初心者
with
でも
range
使い
that
や
has
す
an
そう。
active hitbox for a long time due to the samurai spirits it summons.
リーチ
Those
も
spirits can
長
destroy
そうなのがいい
projectiles
です
too.
ね。
Or press C for a parry that's invulnerable to strikes and projectiles, and that automatically hits back if Onimaru gets
説
hit.
明聞くだけでやば
You
そ
can
う。
also hold the C button down to extend the duration of your parry attempt. It lasts pretty long this
キャ
way.
ラクターもなかな
Parry
か
is
強そう
important
です
because
ね。
threatening it makes the opponent afraid to attack
この
during
キャ
the
ラも
recovery
強
of
そ
your
う。
tactical slice. If you know they will hesitate, then you don't need to parry at all, and you can apply pressure with either the shoulder ram or the spirit fire follow-up. Another thing to know about the special stance after his B is that you can backdash or forward dash, but only once. To dash from the stance, you either tap forward forward or back back for a backdash, or you can hold forward plus jump or back plus jump for a backdash. If you backdash, you'll end the stance and be able to block. If you forward dash, you'll still be in the stance and able to threaten to parry.
毘沙門も
Onimaru's
最近
walk
は仕
speed is
事
so
ないか
slow
ら
that
ね
he。actually travels more quickly across the screen
なるほど
by
ね。
doing B, then forward dash, then shoulder ram, than if you
まあ。
walked or jumped forward. Onimaru's forward A, which does 2 damage, can
ブアン
cancel
パイ
into
ア
his
シリー
B
ズが出な
special,
くなっ
which also
て、
does 2 damage, but usually this isn't a true combo.
もう
If
10
the
年以
opponent
上経っ
happens
て
to
ま
get
すから
counter hit
ね。
by the forward A, meaning hit out of the start of their move, then they'll glow red, be in hit stun longer, and these 2 moves actually will combo for a total of 4 damage. That's so devastating that you can fish for it and hope you catch the opponent in the start of a move. If they block, you can still do the 2 move sequence and then mix up which ender you'll do from
ちょっ
tactical
と攻
slice.
撃に引っかかっただけで、キャラの個性と強みを出そうとしすぎて結果として押し付けゲーになっちゃった気がしますね。
Then repeat. You can't keep it up forever, and they can do a
難
fast or
しいところ
invulnerable
で
move
す
to get
ね。
out, but it's still a good pressure tool. His C special, Divide and Conquer, is a 2-hit move that's armored. The armor is
個
really
性が薄
important
い。
because it
格
allows
闘
you
ゲ
to
ームは
attack even if
つ
the
まんな
opponent
い
is
し
doing
ね
a。faster move. You might get hit, but you'll hit them too. You can use the move on prediction against projectiles from far away,
その
and
辺
you
のバ
can
ラン
use it
ス
as
を
anti-air
取るのは
too.
本当
You'll
に難
sometimes
し
even
そう。
get both hits against the jumping opponent. His jumping A is a bunt that bounces him on hit or block. He can bounce up to 3 times for 3 hits. That's not a combo, but it can be tricky and confusing. Although he's often punishable, the opponent doesn't know if you'll do 1, 2, or 3 attacks.
これ
His
は、
jumping B, Spirit Slice, is a really
ホッピングじゃ
long-reaching
ないか。
horizontal attack. Its hitbox stays active for a really
今の
long
ところ、
time. You
もう
can
一
use it as
回
if
見
the
よ。
opponent is doing a fast bash, then repeat. You can't keep it up forever, and they can do a fast or invulnerable move to get out, but it's still a good pressure tool. His C special, Divide and
固める
Conquer,
こと
is
も
a
できる。
2-hit move that's armored. The armor is really important because it allows you to attack even if the opponent is doing a faster move.
アーマー付きの
You
み、
might get
ヒ
hit, but
ッ
you'll
ト、
hit them
技。
too. You can use the move on prediction against projectiles from far away, and you can use it as anti-air too. You'll sometimes even get both hits against the jumping opponent. His jumping A is a bunt that bounces him on hit or block. He can bounce up to 3 times for 3 hits. That's not a combo, but it can be tricky and confusing. Although he's often punishable, the opponent doesn't know if you'll do 1, 2, or 3 attacks. His jumping B, Spirit Slice, is a really long-reaching horizontal attack. Its hitbox stays active for a really long time as the samurai spirits come out. This move can command the air-to-air game, but it also lets Onimaru come down on
持続の
grounded
長い
opponents.
空中
He
攻
can even
撃。
threaten it as he jumps over a projectile. The very beginning of Spirit Slice is a strike attack as the sword hits, but the rest of the active frames are classified as a projectile. That means the magical samurai heads can actually destroy enemy projectiles if they happen to intersect. It means that Rook's Air B vines can go through them too, but not through the beginning part where the sword itself hits. His jumping C, Helmbreaker, has him slam down to the ground. It's armored, so he'll keep going even if he gets hit once. This move does 2 damage on hit, but it can't actually hit the opponent until it lands. And though it has long recovery, you can cancel that recovery with an invulnerable rising sword by pressing C again. This makes the opponent hesitant to punish this move on block because they aren't sure if you have a rising sword waiting for them. You can vary the timing of when you Rising Sword to further trick them. Rising Sword doesn't usually combo after Helmbreaker unless the Helmbreaker was a counter hit. In that case, you can combo easily if you're close enough. Onimaru's ground super is Martial Law. It's a huge 2 damage sword slash that's invulnerable until just before it hits. It has 2 other important properties too. First, it's fast. It's twice as fast as his other pokes, so he can punish things or interrupt things with it that he otherwise couldn't. Second, you can hold down the S button when you do it to charge up and perform a level 2 or level 3 version. These versions are not invulnerable, but the level 2 version reaches even farther and it does 3 damage, while the level 3 version reaches full screen, does 4 damage, and is unblockable. This super has many incredible uses. It gets you out of trouble, it reaches through projectiles, and even if you get hit, you deal your damage first, so maybe you'll win the round just before you die. Sometimes getting hit out of it lets you combo forward A for 4 damage total. You can land the super after a successful parry. You can use it as anti-air. You can whiff punish things. The level 3 unblockable has a lot of uses too. When you get a knockdown from the parry, or from air B, or from a counter hit air C, you can start charging to level 3 and threaten to do an unblockable as the opponent gets up. You can also threaten it if the opponent commits to a slow move from far, or even if they just hesitate and don't know what to do. His air super, Clockwork Soldiers, summons 2 robot soldiers that advance toward the enemy. They each have 2 hit points, so it's pretty difficult for the opponent to deal with them and Onimaru at the same time. He has a lot of potential to guard crush them during this super. A single attack from the opponent can hit both Onimaru and one of the Clockwork Soldiers, so Onimaru has to be careful in how he pressures. Try to set up deadly guard crushes while also baiting the opponent to do something dumb. Onimaru is somewhat slow and deliberate, but he's also incredibly damaging with his 2 damage attacks, 4 damage unblockable super, and unblockable guard crush setups. He usually wants to stay at mid-range and rely on his high-priority sword attacks as well as his armored moves to blow through the attacks of faster, weaker characters. If you know the enemy and know your Onimaru tools, you need not fear the result of 100 battles.
わかりやすく、強そう。ということで、一通り見てまいりました。なかなかいいゲームでしたね。チュートリアルとキャラ紹介ビデオで、たっぷり遊べましたね。一通り見た感じだと、この辺、時計のおじさん、分身、おじさん、長い旅になりそうだ。ビサモンのおじさん。この辺が強そうでしたね。僕の印象としては、まあまあ。トレーニングモード、行ってみようか。
Tiger, it's It's my time to fight.
Shayna. You wanna fight?
パンチ。発生が遅い。これ最新ゲームですか？そうです。2019年生まれの最新ゲームです。3万、2019年。リリースが2019年。最新、ピチピチのゲームです。長い。こっちもまあまあ、長い。
Flash gear. Flash gear. Flash gear. Time spiral. Time spiral. Flash gear. Time spiral.
10年前くらい初い最近って言っちゃう系男子。
Time spiral.
10年ぐらいは最近です。
Just a moment.
格ゲーってあんま数出てないからマジで結構最新の可能性ある。わらわら。
Just a moment.
そう。
Flash gear. Just a moment.
まあ、そもそも作るの大変だからね。最近ってくらいの感覚です。
Just a moment. Flash gear.
ストリートファイターがいつのゲームだっけ？
Flash gear. Clockwork. Time spiral. Drop gear. Time spiral. Pause. Drop gear.
時間の感覚がやろ。
Time spiral. Time spiral. Time spiral.
エルフにとっては10年とか、一瞬よ。
Time spiral. Drop gear. Drop gear. Drop gear. Drop gear. Flash gear. Drop gear. Flash gear. Drop 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 gear.
繋がらないか。
Drop gear. Flash gear. Drop gear. Flash
な
gear.
かなかちょっとこのコンボは難しそうだ。
Pause. Drop gear. Flash gear. Pause. 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 Flash gear. Pause. Drop gear.
そんなガリガリ、コンボ、似いてるタイプではなさそう。
Time spiral. Time spiral. Time spiral. Time spiral. Time spiral. Drop gear.
なるほどね。 大体わかった。次のキャラ、見てみよう。分身、おじさん。めちゃくちゃヤバそう。
You wanna fight?
なんかモーションがデジャブだと思ったらスト5のナッシュとルガールが合わさったようなキャラですね。なんというか。まあいろんな格闘ゲームから持ってきてるんだなとは、思いますね。こうやると、普通の伸びすぎだけど、普通の上げて蹴り。押しっぱなしにすると、間違えた。もう一回押すと、急降下、キックにも攻撃判定がつく。フェイント。このフェイントもなかなかやばいですね。これも単純に強そう。単純に、ロート裏の2択なので、シンプルに難しそうだ。やばいな。これで追加攻撃すると見せかけで。投げる。このおじさん、普通にめちゃくちゃ強そうなんだけど。分身、出し放題。 分身出すやつ大抵壊れがち。
このおじさんもかなりヤバそうですね。もうめちゃくちゃだよ。こんなん絶対わかるわけないじゃんね。難しそうであるけどめちゃくちゃ強そうではある。次見てみよう。
You wanna fight?
足が遅い。びっくりする、おささ。なんてこった。通常攻撃で遅いのか、わらわら。ちすぎてびっくりした。通常攻撃で削れますね。なるほど。このタックルから。投げと打撃のタクに行けそうですね。足が遅い。これは、ガードされると、死ぬタイプの技ですね。
和風の背景だからタヌキと見せかけてこれはレッサーパンダ。
アライグマ。ラスカル。尻尾のしましまがポイントですね。足がちすぎるっぴ。足が遅いからあんまり好みじゃないんですよね。
なんてこったい。ガードクラッシュはなかなか強そう。私鈍足のキャラ使えません。どうしても飛んじゃいます。気持ちはわかる。ジャンプしたくなっちゃうよね。シャリダッシュしたりしたくなっちゃうよね。まあまあまあ。使いやすそうならこっちのおじさんですね。時計、おじさん。弁護士。分身、おじさん。分身、おじさん、かなりヤバそうですね。ちょっとの分張る、おじさんで。対戦してみようか。果たして、マッチングするんでしょうかね。
The Chancellor has arrived.
You wanna fight?
新宮町中にもトレーニングモードできる。ちゃんとマッチングしながらトレーニングモードできる。偉いですね。びっくりした。こういうところもちゃんとしてるね。したのかと思った。さすが令和最新。令和最新ゲーム。実際に当たるかどうかは、また別問題。デイリーチャレンジ。やってみようか。マッチングした。対戦よろしくお願いします。もっと時間かかると思ってたから。意外と早く、マッチングして、僕は嬉しいよ。めちゃめちゃ、重いぞ。竹踏頑張れ。やったぜ。 ほんとわけわからんなこいつ。やっぱりこのおじさん強いのでは。なんてこったい。
Round 3. Fight. Consanta Gabo. Welcome. Justice. Justice. Consanta Gabo. Justice. Justice. Justice.
やったぜ。必殺技、結構早くたまるね。当たっちゃったね。ワリさん。やるじゃないの、竹分。なんてこった。ジェスジェス、ガードされると、カツハン、だわ。やばい。負けそう。やったぜ。やめれないよ。やるじゃないの。やったぜ。ありがとう、竹文。やっぱりこのおじさん、強くない。強くないですかね。なんかマブカプの影響が見られるな。いきなり竹文を破ってしまうとは、気に入ったい。やばい。全身、アタック、バレてる。やるじゃん。このゲームの奥深さ、出ちゃったね。ウォーミングアタック終わりって感じやな。 派生に切られたら一瞬だな。
やったぜ。当たるんかい。
竹踏派新昇竜物販に味を占めている。
なんてこった。部話、許さないぞ。やっぱりこのあだ強くないですかね。やった。ボーナスタイム。おカウンターしてる。見せられたね。読まれてる。やるじゃん。やるじゃん、竹踏み。読まれてるね。やったぜ。やばい。釣ったね。山。終わり。こっちが終わったわ。やるじゃん、竹分。これで切りをつけよう。いきなりライバルを見つけてしまうとは。おごったね。ハオマルみたいな大切りしやがって。見つかっちゃったなら。よし。次の試合にゲージを持ち越せたぞ。
リバーサルめってきちゃった。飛び道具、連発されると、普通に辛いね。そういうことやってくるのかお前。なんてこった。竹踏の本気。僕にも意地がある。高すぎ。やっぱ、こないだ、強いよ。やばい。あ。やったぜ。やっぱこのおじさん、技が強くないっすかね。ありがとう、竹分。もしかしてこのゲーム、面白い。面白いじゃないですかね。どうでしたか、皆さん。なかなか、エキサイティングな試合だったと思いますが。あ、これ。前回選んだキャラクターでもう一回できるんだ。着信でいいですね。学賃でいいですね。熱くなったね。いや、なかなか、いい試合できたんじゃないでしょうか。強い行動をなすりつけてるだけ、とも、言えます。レゲエに書いてあった、意味、がちょっと、わかった気がしますね。じゃあ次はこっちの時計、おじさんって、言ってみようか。竹文は今頃 X に文句書いてるよ。それはありそう。というか。まあ、散々言われてそうではある。 分身おじさんナーフしろ。どう考えても、めちゃくちゃ強い、ないんだけど。C としか思えないんだけど。どうなんですかねこのキャラクター。レディースから結構時間かかってて。リリースから結構時間かかってて。あの性能ってことは、分身、おじさんの性能は、あれで、 すげえ、OK、と運営が判断したってことなのかと、思うけど。かもしれない。なんかさっきの竹、国も通信状況悪かったから。単純に、通信状況悪かっただけなのかもしれない。山。やっぱやばいよ、この技。
This is my veto. KO. Round 2. Fight. Consanta the Gabo. Reflect. Counter. Hello. Counter. Spin. Reflect. Counter. Justice! Consanta the Gabo! KO!
あまりにもわからんすぎる。
Clockwork. Reflect. Time spiral. Step. Counter. Counter. Justice. Spin.
竹踏の気持ちわかったかね。わかっちゃった。負けるんかい。ちょっとカッコつけて歩いて殴られただけの技。無敵が欲しいところですね。
Round 5. Fight. Pause. Reflect. Pause. Justice. Drop gear. Spin. Time spiral. Flash gear. Time spiral. Patriot mirror. Time spiral. Flash gear. Just a moment.
今だ。
Flash gear. Seeing double. KO.
やったぜ。
Round 6. Fight. Drop gear. Spin. Flash gear. Time spiral. Yeah. Consanta the Gabo.
やばい。ボタン押してた。
Flash gear. Consumption of the government.
Flash gear. Drop gear. Flash gear.
やばすぎる。
Flash gear.
Consumption of the government.
Drop gear.
Justice.
Drop gear. Time spiral. Time spiral.
Reflect.
Just a moment. Flash gear.
Reflect.
Time spiral.
Spin. KO.
なし。
You win.
やっぱり、あの技、やばすぎるって。さて。今のマッチングキャンセルで。マッチング、途切れちゃったので。もう一回やり直そう。じゃあ次はこっちで。
I'm in command here.
It's my time to fight.
Round 1. Fight.
Time spiral.
決まったな。
Time spiral. Time spiral. Time spiral.
KO. Round 2. Fight.
飛び道具が厄介。
KO. Perfect.
あっという間に決まったね。
Round 3. Fight.
Time spiral.
なんてこったい。
Drop gear. Time spiral.
Here comes a new challenger.
来た。
I'm in command here.
決まる。
Round 1. Fight.
てけてけ、こ。どうした？ちょっと。時間止めてる？
Perfect. Round
止めて
2.
しまったかもしれんな。あ、動いたわ。
Flash gear.
Counter charge.
Pause. Drop gear.
めちゃめちゃ痛いんだが、と人いるんだね。
Just a moment.
KO. And counter. Round 3. Fight.
また竹踏と当たると思ったけど。違う人と当たりますね。
Drop gear. Flash gear.
パワーが違いすぎる。
Round 4. Fight.
時間を止めて死ぬまでの時間を楽しむ能力。
Drop gear.
Counter charge.
ベキーケコ頑張れ。鼻歌歌いながら殺されに行くの好き。名前が難しい技だ。難しい。マンダムかな？男の世界へようこそ。
Fight.
Pause. Drop gear.
Counter charge.
Pause. Clockwork. Time spiral. Flash gear.
Waste your
やっちゃった。この固まったまま前進するだけのポンコツそうなロボットもいい味出してますね。鬼丸なかなかの暴力でいいですね。パパが強すぎる。パワーが違いすぎる。もう一回やろう。ガードクラッシュがあるのも怖いですね。なんてこったい。くそ、分身おじさんさえ使えればこんなやつなんかに。やばい。超必殺技が本当に使いづらすぎる。やったぜ。読まれた。判定がでかすぎる。やったぜ。強すぎるんだけど。画面端、脱出。サマーソルトが届かない。これは辛いぜ。イカ。見た。あまりにも強すぎる。たまちゃん。パワーでゴリ押してくるじゃん。なかなかやりますね。ランクマッチも人いるんじゃないの？ランクマッチは3人でチームを組むらしい。ということで、力こそパワー。最強のチームで行くぞ。
Geiger.
It's my time to fight.
Onamaru. I'm in command here.
ランクマも一人じゃダメだったんですかね。僕もそう思います。まあ、でも、このゲーム。操作、簡単だから。他のキャラ覚えるのはそんなに、難しくはなさそうだけどね。いるじゃん。ランクマッチ、いるじゃんね。順番、シャッフル、なのか。まさかのトーナメント形式、わらわら。これは予想外ですね。トーナメントになってますけど一体。ことなんでしょうね。なんてこったい。油。めちゃくちゃ押し付けてくる。パーフェクト。オーオブ格闘形公式なんでしょう。このスレッド破線を超えました。新しいスレッドを立ててください。なんてこった。大変。ちょっと試合が終わるまで待ってください。当たっちゃったー。危なすぎる。おじさんの勝利。交代制なんですね。キングオブファイターズみたいに勝ち抜きではないと。
Round 1. Fight!
アスキアート。アスキアート。テンプレ、ありがとうございます。追率、ありがとうございます。我慢できなかった。助かります。すれたてありがたい。3先 X3 は長いですね。長いね。
Round 3. Fight!
さすがにこれはガードする。
Charge!
やったぜ。
Round 4. Fight.
距離取られると厳しい。
KO. Perfect. Onamaru wins.
なんとかなった。力こそパワー。
Nothing's been rigged. Know the enemy and yourself.
よく見たら相手、任天堂スイッチじゃん。
Round
実は
1.
このゲーム、この弓使いも皆みたいに反対側に飛ぶ技があれば、鬼丸ヤバでは、僕はこっちの分身、おじさんの方がヤバいと思いますけどね。
Consanta the Gabbo.
Round 2. Fight.
絶対、人間に優しくないよこのおじさん。強すぎる。
Consanta the Gabbo.
KO. Round 3. Fight.
人間の認識速度を超えたおじさん。キッズをボコしてしまった。人間、壊す、横のおじさんは。これハーンインストール直行ですわ。俺もちょっとやってみたけど2戦やって2戦ともスイート値でしたね。ステアムだと10人いるかいないかだったけどスイート値では結構人いるのかも。家庭用があるって素晴らしいね。やったぜ。
I'm in command here. To fight.
あれトーナメント終わったんだけど、
Fight.
Time spy.
ランクマッチのシステムがわからなすぎる。
Flash gear.
リーダーをしちゃったもんね。
Flash gear.
優勝。
Time spy. Step.
KO. Round 2. Fight.
トーナメント埋まってから始まるんじゃねえのかよ、わら。
Time spy.
さすがにそれだとマッチング、上すぎるからね。
Time spy. Ha! Flash gear. Ah, clockwork.
Attack!
Time spy.
Here comes a new challenger.
来たわ。
Game 1.
Nothing's been rigged.
This will be great fun.
何か思ったより人いるじゃないね。
Round 1. Fight.
Reflect.
Starlight! Yeah, Starlight!
Justice. Spin. Speed double.
Starlight!
Consanta the Gabbo.
Asper Dash! Yeah, Starlight!
スイッチの派遣格ゲーなのかもしれない。なるほどね。
Justice.
KO.
危な。
C double.
Round 2. Fight.
Patriot Mirror. Two truths.
正直、 対戦成り立つくらい人口いるなら今回に初心者にだけ格ゲーになりうるかも。
いや、本当にいいと思いますよこれ。難点があるとすれば、相手が外国なので、ちょっと、通信環境があれなことぐらいですね。やっぱこの分身、おじさん、豪栄は、豪すぎでしょ、このおじさん。
I'll make it exciting. Know the enemy and yourself.
Round 1. Fight. やったぜ。Round 2. Fight. Here you go. こっちの火力もやばいですね。あれは早い花火やば。パンダのリーチは長い。死ぬ。外人公安って感じの獣キャラだな。Round 4. Fight. Surprise! Look out! Give me a jackpot! 短い。Round 5. Fight. 負けられない戦いがあるな。やったぜ。なるほど、リーチとパワーがある。こっちから近づくのは難しいけどガーフで相手から近づくように仕向けられるのか。Round 1. Fight. Landslide. Vines. I'll throw you. Landslide. Vines. Thunderclouds.
Drop gear.
Windmill crusher.
Flash gear.
よくでき。死んだわ。よくできてるわ、このゲーム。
Ah, clockwork. Pause. Drop gear. Step. Ha. Time spiral. Ha. Flash gear. Time spiral. Step.
やってくれるわ。うなちゃんも海戦取ってるけど3戦目やる理由とはないかもしんない。
Just a moment.
終わりです。負けるんかい。やばい。このおじさんの、とてもまだ弱すぎない。時計おじさん林担当。そいつの教室面白すぎる。みんなに笑いを届けてくれるね。乾杯です。
時計おじさん派うなぎチームの面汚しだよ。
あ、これ。勝ち抜けだ。3人、勝ち抜けるまでやるってタイプだわ。
Round 2. Fight.
Just a moment.
来たね。
3人全員で勝利しないといけないのか。時計おじさん絶対足引っ張るじゃん。わらわら。
そういうことみたいですね。やばい。時計、おじさんが死にそう。
Just a moment.
画面端に切るのには便利ですね。3本選手罰2本選手じゃなくて3本選手罰3本選手かよ投げよ。わらわら。長いね。カジュアル、マッチの方が楽しいかもね。このゲーム。ランクマッチはさすがに長いですわ。
流行らなかった理由の一発が見えましたね。
見えちやったね。ランクマッチがだるい。もうちょっとさっくり、やらせてほしいね。この星マーク何？なるほどね。リプレイが、
何かの決勝戦に勝ち進んだぞ。
やりました。死ね。死にます。完全に見切られた。
Just a moment.
最強、差し替え、仕業。わあ、死ぬんだけど。
これ他にも2回勝ち進んだ相手いないと決勝戦始まらないってことだよね。対戦成り立つのだろうか、わらわら。
成り立ったわ。意外と、成り立ちましたね。相手の名前。すごい投げが強そう。
わ。ザンギエフ。
Just a moment.
負けるんかい。
Just a moment. Time spiral. Time spiral.
Items! Have a melon! Wow! Give me a jackpot! Melon! Melon!
Time spiral.
Melon!
Just a moment. Flash gear.
ゲージ、払って死にに行っただけ。時間止めるやつただのワープだもんな。ジェノサイドカッターじゃん。上手すぎるんですけど。弱すぎてびっくりするわ。
Flash gear.
スイカを顔で浴びに行くおじさん。
Just a moment. Flash gear.
ゲージ使って食らいに行く。サービス精神旺盛な技。
Just a moment.
KO!
なんだこの技。
Round 3. Fight!
あまりにも弱すぎ。
Items?
Time spiral.
What's this?
これ操作止められるからやられた方がイライラするな。
Flash gear.
相手をイライラさせるだけの技。
Flash gear.
KO! Round 4.
時計、おじさんしかも誰かの結構長いし、わらわら。画面端から逃げるようだな。
Just a moment.
でも簡単に反応できるからむしろワープより弱いのよね。弱すぎる。
Catch!
Time spiral.
Give me a jackpot!
Time spiral.
Melon!
Time spiral.
Splat! Melon!
Time
What's
spiral.
this?
Time spiral.
Splat!
Time spiral.
Take that! Give me a jackpot! KO! Round 5. Fight! What's this?
Clockwork.
Counter!
Time spiral.
What's this? Catch!
Pause.
Here's your melon!
Time spiral.
Items? Have a melon!
Pause. Drop gear.
Catch!
Pause.
危な。
Items!
Just a moment. Flash gear.
Give me a jackpot! What? Whoa, whoa, whoa! Items?
Flash gear.
Here's your melon! Here!
Flash
Give
gear.
me a jackpot! KO!
あかん。このおじさん、ダメかもしれん。というか、
Game 2.
長い。
I'm confident in the judgment. Know the enemy.
また時計おじさんの居残りが決定してしまった。なんてこったい。
Round 1. Fight! Assist.
通すぎ。
Assist. One, two. KO.
なんとかなったわ。
Fight. Justice. KO. Perfect.
すごいパワーだ。
Round 3. Fight.
暴力的すぎる。
Gotcha. Assist. Dagger ball. Assist. It's my turn.
なんてこったい。鬼丸のこの暴力っぷりよ。時計おじさんも見習ってくれ。
Fight.
本当だよ。
Justice. Assist. Counter charge! Unit! KO!
強い。
Wins. Game 3.
月丸は強かった。
You haven't practiced enough.
次は、
時計おじさんは先を止めてる間履き替えを加えない紳士なんだ。
次ランドに使った方が良かったな。なんてこったい。なんでそこで、ニュートラルに、入れてんの。来ましたね。やったぜ。やはり、分身、おじさんなのか。
今はもう、動かない。時計の、おじさん。
天使おじさんも動かなくなりそう。やったぜ。危ない。やったぜ。やはり、分身、おじさん。全身、おじさんは信用できる。
竹文との戦いの経験が生きたな。
行きましたね。
考えてみればこのゲーム若い男キャラっていないよね。ヒゲのおじさんばっか。
おじさんのゲーム。
もうちょっとキャッチーなキャラ入れればよかったのに。
各班、確定反撃。当たってる。
Just a moment. Flash gear.
危な。
Pause. Drop gear. Flash gear. Time spiral.
危ない危ないところだった。
Ah, clockwork. Time spiral. Step.
Dragon!
見て彼は受けられないんだなこれ。
Flash gear.
Round 4. Fight. Counter.
来ると思った。何で負けてんの。
Ah, clockwork. Time spiral. Time spiral.
やったぜ。
Geiger wins.
時計、おじさん頑張った。この人
Congratulations.
結構新昇竜ぶっぱしてくるね、わらわら。そうですね。やったぜ。チャンピオン。私がチャンピオンです。頂点を極めた。極めてしまったな。なんか、
Round
大
1.
型新人じゃんね。このゲーム、普通に面白くないですか？
Step. Time spiral.
死ぬんだけど、
Flash gear.
いいゲームだと思います。
Flash gear. Just a moment.
なんか普通にちゃんとシステムもよくできてるし。
Round 2. Fight.
割と結構人もいるし。痛い。
Time spiral. Step.
危な。
Flash gear. Time spiral.
しかし最初から最後までもつれ込むと40点以上することになるのかこれ。
Round 3.
厳しいですね。
Fight.
Time spiral.
カジュアル、マッチの方が楽しいね。確かに。
Time spiral.
めちゃめちゃ痛いんだけど。
Just a moment. Flash gear. Time spiral. Time spiral. Pause.
死ね
Gear.
え。
KO.
死んだわ。
Round 4. Fight.
Charge!
Time spiral. Just a moment.
これは、数字を払って当たりに行く、おじさん。
Time spiral.
KO.
なんてこっ
Round
た。
5. Fight.
キャラ、パワーが違う。
Time spiral.
Maneuver. And conquer.
Flash gear. Time spiral. Flash gear.
髪型法に判定がでかすぎる。
KO.
通に負けたわ。時計、おじさん。
時計おじさんの強みって何だったっけ？
もしかして、キャラ、パワーが、足りないのでは？一応、パンチのリーチは長いし、飛び道具はあるし、無料の無敵技も持ってる。ので、割と、オールラウンダーに戦えますね。いや、でも、しかし。なんか普通にこのゲーム面白かったですね。全然人いないと思ってたけど。そんなことなかったし。
何でもできるけど何にもできない。
パワーが足りない。ランクマッチはまあ、なかなか大変なので、カジュアル、マッチの方が遊びやすいかなとは思いますね。システムに関しても、難しいコンボとかは多分そんなになさそうなので、本当に初心者の人でも遊びやすいんじゃないかなと思ってます。この電車におじさん、やばいね。この全身、おじさん、はかなりやばいと思うけど、見た目がやばすぎる。なんてこった。
面があからさまに他のキャラと違うもの。
やば。
ご兄弟の方がいっぱいいるんですね。
大家族ですよ。そもそもとして、必殺技使えない状態でも、割と見た目がやばい。今日のフェイントとか、これとか、これも、フェイントですからね。そして、裏表。やばそうな技ばっかりだ。でも、なんか、対戦では当たりませんでしたね。難しそうだからみんな、使ってないのか。実はそんなに強くないのか。
裏表にタクは明らかに時間止めの上位なのに通常技。対戦は意外とキャラがばらけてたね。
そうですね、そうですね。ただ、個人的な印象としては、 ビサモン、おじさんが多めだったような気がする。だけ。なんというか。分身気にせず暴れまくれば勝てそう。それはあるかもしれない。分身出してるともりもり、攻めてくるから。そこに、必殺技、吐くのもいいかもしれませんね。実際それはられました、しね。いや、でもほんとこのゲーム面白いですね。ジャスティスって垂直でかわされてフルコン入れられたりしない？それはある。というか、できますね、それ。絶対できるね。トレーニングモードのレコーディング機能がないのが困りものですね。なんてこった。弱点、見つかったな。大変なことになりますね。反応遅れると、食らう。硬直も長いし乱用禁物ですね。ガードされると、確定反撃ですね。一瞬遅れたらなすすべなしはきつい。まあ、普通にガードすれば。成功すれば、コンボ確定などで。案外。メリットよりも、デメリットの方が大きい技なのかもしれませんね。見た目が終わってる。バサバサ、個人的には。見た目が終わりすぎてて楽しいんですけどね、このおじさん。ラスプーチンを思い出す。なんか残る系のゲージ技が強い印象あるね、このゲーム。確かに。設置技は強い。そういうこと。このおじさん、技、どっちも、強そうだからいいね。聞いてるか時計、おじさん。ゲージ、払って、攻撃当たりに、行くって、何事だ。
Just a moment. Flash gear. Justice.
テンポも悪いし。そうなんですよね。ゲーム、テンポ悪いってのがやばいかもしれない。
Just a moment. Flash gear.
おじさん。ジャスジェスに負ける、おじさん。
Just a moment.
面白すぎる。
Just a moment. Flash gear.
これについてはちょっと研究が必要ですね。
Flash gear. Just a moment.
判定がもう発生してると
歩いてないで普
負ける。
段の前後移動みたいにテキパキ歩いてほしい。
確かに。
Just a moment.
実質的にワープしてから無敵のないジェノサイドカッターを決め打ちするだけの技なんですか。途中で打ち切りとかできれば少し
そうですね。
Just a moment.
もしかしたらできるのかもしれないけどね。キャラ紹介ではなんか
watchmaker, scientist, and logical
気
thinking.
になること言ってた
Air B
し。
is fakes up his timing. Even more block damage you to have full gear meter for 2 times. A nice trick is that you can jump forward and phase out. Doesn't know if you'll do air casually stroll forward, fall straight to
あるのいい
the
ですね。
air C after the phase out, or kick with A, or simply fall straight to the ground.
シークバー
Geiger's
あ
time
るのい
stop
いです
super
ね。
allows him to casually stroll forward while time is stopped. He walks a fixed distance, then automatically does an invulnerable attack. Think of it as a teleport into an attack. The main use is hitting opponents out of moves from far away, such as their projectiles. Geiger also controls the far upper part of the screen, which is exactly where Jaina wants to be. If she jumps to shoot an arrow, he can time stop to hit her, guaranteed. And if a time spiral hits, or is about to hit, he can time stop to combo for 2 damage. His air super, Cyclone Revolution, he can time stop to combo. And if a time spiral hits, or is about to hit, he can time stop to combo
飛び
for 2
道具と連
damage.
携しろっ
His
て
air
言っ
super,
てるね。
Cycloid Revolution, summons a big time spiral hits, or is about to hit, he
じゃ
can
あ
time
つまり
stop to combo for 2 damage. His air super,
時間
Cycloid
が動き
Revolution,
出してから慌ててジェノサイドカッターしているようだ。
it takes up years that
無
tracks
敵
the
の
opponent.
攻撃を繰り出すとか言ってますが恐竜これは一体
毎日への
技を打たれたと思ってたら攻撃が当たっていた。何を言ってるかわからねえと思うが。
Geiger can play a standard keepaway game with projectiles, back
新手のスタンド、攻撃の仕業。
lockdown sequences and go on the offense if needed. His
無敵の
versatile
攻
time
撃
stop
技だ
super
っ
gives
た
him
ら
a ton of options on offense and defense as
潰され
well.
ないでく
And
だ
as
さい
any
よ。
watchmaker will tell you, it's time to play Geiger.
この時計、おじさんは癒し枠ですね。さてさて。ということで、今日はこの辺で終わりにしましょうか。いやしかし、ほんと。なかなか面白いですね、このゲーム。ちょくちょく、遊んで。ちょくちょく、遊んでもいいかもしれないというぐらいには、面白かったですよ。まあまあまあまあ。
エボの種目にするべきゲ
今日もいい
ームだっ
時間だ
た。
からね。確かに。いやほんと。再度、トーナメントとかでやってもいいよね。このゲームみんなもね、やってみるといいですよ。 なんと今なら無料でランクマッチもできてしまうんだ。
おつーなおつーな。
お疲れ、お疲れ。お金出してできるのって。一人用のアーケードモードとか、サバイバルモードとかだけなんで。
ランクマッチは遠慮させていただきます。
あとリプレイとかもか。カジュアル、マッチで遊ぼう。あと、フレンド、マッチもできる。できなかったわ。フレンド、マッチは有料です。なんてこったい。まあでも。
なんてこった。
このゲーム、ちょっとお金を出してもいいかなと思いますね。僕は。それぐらいが。それぐらいよくできてると思いますよ。今の感じだと。銀行もそこそこいそうな感じでした、しね。対戦、人口も。割と結構いましたね。思ったよりいましたね。
スイート地税助かる。
ありがたい。まあ海外なので。通信状況が悪いのは難点ですけど。でも、無料なので。みんなもね、ぜひ、触ってみてほしいですね。それでは、本日はこの辺りで。ご視聴ありがとうございました。お疲れさま。まったねー。お疲れ、お疲れ。それでまたね。